and episode 143 is live.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so we have a very feebled attempt at having some topics for you guys today. I say feebled attempt because it's just us.
I'm surprised you said feebled though, because like we actually got more than I think we've had in a year.
Probably. Okay, I'm rolling intro.
Do it.
Tech Talk. It's where we talk about things, usually not tech, but sometimes. And you guys watch because you'd be so worried if you didn't know what we were talking about. You know, just admit it to yourself.
And
it's probably still rolling.
What's that? No, it ended right at the end.
I'm like out of breath because I took a piss and I was running. I'm like, no, don't start the stream without me, no.
I was going to, but I know for a fact, like, you usually will come in walking saying something very derogatory, and if you didn't know we were live, it's on my channel. Otherwise, I would just let it go.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay, all right.
So I'm holding my hand here, guys, like two 6900Ks because I have to build some new systems for the studio, which I'll be moving into in about 2 weeks now. One of these is going to be for Nick's computer, his company computer, and one of them is going to be for the build that I'm doing. That's going to be like the Skunkworks replacement, I guess, if that makes sense. Because I'm going to build a new system for the studio. I'm going to leave Skunkworks here at home.
Is Nick's company computer going to be like an old Dell Inspiron or something just to troll him with a CRT?
I should give him the blown up AMD, the AMD I killed.
Dude, you have to do it. Give him an APU with an old like 17-inch ViewSonic CRT and be like, no, I'm serious. Like this you got to work your way up to the company. You can't just expect everything.
Oh, brother. Anyway, if anybody does donate today, Hobbs is actually traveling as we speak in a car down to PDX for PDX Land. Are you going to PDX Land or no?
I will be there tomorrow. Yeah, I couldn't handle 4 days, so I told him I'd come down a day late.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't been in forever, but it's usually not as much fun for me as I would hope because I don't live close enough to bring my own system, and so it usually ends up losing the whole first day trying to load up a loaner system with games.
Yep. No, I hear you.
Especially since it seems like the internet connection there has gotten worse over time compared to when I first went.
It's really hit and miss. I've gone there a couple times where it's the fastest it's ever been. Like last time I went, it was like nightmarishly fast, and then the time before that, all 3 days, it was like DSL. It was terrible.
Let's see. Ricky Munden says, fun drinking game. Every time Jay says so, you have to take a drink, shot, or finish the cup. Drinks for Jay.
You would die. You would die. No, and you have to take five shots in a row for every I digress.
And then 10 for every time I say trust me when I say. Yeah. Those are like my catchphrases right there.
Hey, you know, I did that green screen shoot a couple of days ago, and I made sure that I got in plenty of I digresses and other famous Jay sayings in front of the green screen.
I wonder if I can flag. Oh, wait, I have to flag my own channel right now. Huh? I wonder if I can flag my own channel for my videos playing in the background.
You should do it. You should do it. Be like, that some bitch did not get my permission to put himself in a window on my video on my live stream on my channel.
Jerry's trolling me right now with playing my videos in the background on the big screen.
Yeah. These are the playlists, Jay's playlists of his computer builds that I've got back here. Hope you guys enjoy it.
I cannot wait to move though because I'm going to be able to do so much more with the builds, if that makes sense. Tomorrow I'm probably going to be doing a build. I've got several builds I need to do, actually. I'm like 4 builds behind. Builds are always fun, though. They take up so much room.
Dude, it's going to be awesome. You can just like crank one out anytime during the day. You don't have to worry about your wife walking in. It's going to be epic, dude.
I need some advice on chassis because I need to build, like I said, the system for Skunkworks version 2. No, wait. Skunkworks' brother. We'll call it Skunk's. We need a new name for it. But anyway, the computer I need to build for the studio. I don't know what chassis I want to use. I really like the Tau 2.0, but I wouldn't use that for a couple of reasons. Because one, it's really expensive. Two, I just want something a little bit more durable than solid glass.
Sure.
That makes sense. It has to be water cooling friendly. I've been looking at some of the offerings from like Inwin, but a lot of the Inwin cases only have 360 millimeter radiators. Some of them only have. They're not going to give me enough radiator space to do like SLI cooling with Titan X's and stuff like that. I've also been looking at some of the Fantech stuff. I'm just really torn on what I want to do.
Why don't you just do a Case Labs? You know they're the best cases. I know they're crazy overpriced, but that's not an issue. You should just do Case Labs.
Because they are purely form over function, and I kind of want something that just looks as nice as the parts going in it. I love Case Labs, but I want something more than just a cube.
What is Cruzosaurus's computer going into?
I already did a whole video on that. You can answer the question yourself and watch it.
No, come on, just tell me.
Who's
the manufacturer? Who's the manufacturer? Give me that.
I already said what case it was in that sentence.
Oh, I didn't hear you because I was talking.
Before that, it's the Tau 2.0 from Inwin.
Oh, I haven't even seen that one before. I love Inwin cases though.
Yeah, they're not available yet. So
I can't look it up. Damn it.
You can probably find information for it online. It was unveiled at CES.
Wait, is that the one that's got the infinity mirror in the front of it?
No.
Okay. Because I thought that was actually a pretty cool case, but that seemed a little gaudy.
No, this one's got a bunch of like angular glass. It's all glass, and they're all like triangle shapes and stuff.
That's cool.
Really,
That's cool. No, Inwin, I've seen a couple of their cases at the PDX LAN events when they've had booths set up, and they still make some pretty beautiful stuff.
It's kind of funny because Inwin back in the day used to be sort of like a budget brand.
I never really knew it as a budget brand though. Like I guess when I first heard about it, it was all the aluminum stuff. Like when they started doing all the aluminum box cases.
They had multiple, like, just like even today still, they have a whole wide range of products. But I always knew them as like stamped steel, plain cases, and then
no, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was getting mixed up with Lee and Lee.
Oh yeah, Lee and Lee.
They've always been premier case. No, you're right. I do remember when I worked at Mothersboard Computers, we used to buy exclusively Inwin cases.
Yeah,
they were like the cheapest of the cheap.
They were like Roseville. You know, they were just
No, you're totally right.
Then somewhere along the way, they just decided we want to be an elegance brand. Mm-hmm. And you know how they did that? I think it's very smart. They started doing nothing but limited edition runs. So it's like, here's this case, we're only making 500 of them, and then we're going to make the next case, we only make 500 of them, and then the next one, and only do 500 of them. So everything becomes limited and desirable at that point.
And people were willing to take a chance on them at that point, yeah, because they're like, oh, even if it turns out to not be good, at least it's unique.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about some interesting news at this point, and I'm going to kind of kick it off with the whole GDC thing, because both AMD and NVIDIA have private conferences going on on the same day, at the same time.
Oh, of course.
It's going to be interesting because it's a little early for Vega launch. They said Q2, and they promised Q1 on Ryzen. So we kind of talked about this a little bit last week. I still think we're going to see a Ryzen launch coming up on the 28th of this month, or maybe at least a press release telling us when it's going to launch, because AMD still swears early March. So I think that it's going to be one of those like Apple events. So I was like, here it is. Here's all the specs. Here's all the rundown. Buy it on this day, which is going to be like 1 week from that day, probably. So like, let's say probably March 6th-ish would my assumption would be available. If NVIDIA launches anything hardware-wise, it's going to have to be a 1080 Ti. It's going to have to be, because you're so far into the life cycle of 10 series now, 9 months, that you either launch it or just don't, because then it's a little long in the tooth, I think. But I will be at the NVIDIA event. AMD did not reach out regarding going to their event, so I don't know exactly what's happening with AMD stuff. But I will be at the NVIDIA event, which is saying that it's a celebration of PC gaming type of event. So if there's games, I'm in.
That's cool.
What are you doing?
I'm clicking buttons. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for you to actually get involved in the conversation.
Oh, I didn't know that you queried me for anything. I thought you were just saying what
I
you were
can
gonna
tell
do at
when
GDC.
you've tuned out. You're like a radio station. You started to get staticky.
Nah, you said you were going to GDC. They were having meetings on the same day. 1080 Ti is the only thing Intel could possibly drop.
I said
AMD
NVIDIA.
is not ready for
Intel doesn't
Well,
make GPUs.
Sorry. Hey, that was a slip.
You did that like all week last week.
I did. You didn't correct me on it. No, so anyways, no, I agree. I think 1080 Ti is probably the only thing that they're going to drop, and I still think that Intel's freaking squirting about Ryzen, and I still think that they're going to push up the next generation of their CPU, even though they've already said what it is. I think they're going to push it up because they're scared of Ryzen.
Coffee Lake?
Or no, Cannon something or other.
Cannon Lake?
Cannon Lake.
Well, Cannon Lake and
Yeah.
Coffee Lake are very close too.
Got you. No, you're right. Most people are referring to the Coffee Lake, but yeah, I think they're going to push up the schedule on that because they're scared of Ryzen, dude.
I get this text from Nick right now. He goes, just finished tutoring 5th grade division. Fuck my life. So he's tutoring 5th graders. He goes, oh my God, fuck Common Core. The wife and I agree with this whole Common Core bullshit.
I do too. Xander brought home some homework about a month ago, and I sat down and I was doing it, and my wife said, "You can't do it that way. You have to do it the Common Core way and show your work."
Yeah.
And I sat there for about an hour, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And I just put it. I couldn't even do like the basic
It's
shit.
funny
I was
because
like, I'm done.
Because like the United States and everything else in the world, we're different than everybody. We do everything different. Most of the world does Common Core. I know Europe does. I believe Asia does. Common Core apparently makes a lot of sense when you're taught it at a very young age.
Well, anything does.
Yeah, but the problem with the way a Common Core was implemented here in the education system was it was just like an overnight switch, all grades across the board, Common Core. And instead of going, okay, the real way to roll this out would be let's go ahead and roll it out to every first grade class on the years.
And let it follow them.
Yeah, so it'll take 12 years until it's fully implemented across all grades. But at least then it wouldn't be like this sudden, like literally parents were struggling, myself included, with first grade math because the ideology was so different. Like Common Core guys, really everything is by tens. Everything has to be by tens. So if it's like, what's 13 plus 7, you have to turn it into a 10, right? So it's just stuff like that was really strange. It makes perfect sense to me now because I've had to learn it to help my daughter. But yeah, man, Common Core just in the beginning just seems like so upside down. It's one of those memes that go around, like the first house built by Common Core math, and it's like upside down and sideways, and it's like sitting on its roof.
I think the idea is that Common Core is just a better way to do math in your head if you learn it that way in the beginning. But we're so wired to do addition in our head with all of our little tricks and everything we learned with conventional math.
Serpent XFSF in chat says, "Is this tech talk or education talk?" It's whatever talk I want it to be, sir.
Ooh, watch out!
Whatever I want it to be.
Watch out, Jay's throwing down.
Yeah. I would smack him if he was in front of me.
Hey, I got Terry Crews behind me. You guys probably can't see it though because it's too far over. See, there's
all I
Jay.
see is me standing
there's
there.
Jay, and there's Jerry's famous friend. Famous friend.
Jay's famous friend.
Actually, it's a good thing that he got cut off there because I don't want to get flagged. I know my channel's not approved for the Terry content, so I'll put that over there. Actually, I might turn just a little bit so you can kind of see. Oh, there he is. Oh crap.
Yeah. So anyway, GDC should be interesting though because I love 2017 so far. This is the year that we're going to see so much cool new hardware launched.
Well, we finally have like companies actually like coming forward and creating real competition in like every space, like everything, right? You got well GPUs kind of, right? You got the 480. I don't know what is AMD's follow up for that. I mean, did they even publicly state Vega is going to be the follow up?
Yeah, but Vega was the roadmap on Vega was always Q2. And I had dinner with the Radeon team at CES, and we were told it's going to be an aggressive Q2, not like the very, very end, the last day of Q2 type of Q2. 'Cause that's the problem. When you say Q, there's 3-month window there. You know, there's 90 days that you could be playing around with that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're shooting for like so early in the year, and they're not trying to push it off, further off till Christmas. But it's probably that whole fear of competition and the other company coming to market first, and now they're actually in a legitimate race. Because, Intel and NVIDIA would just sit on their ass until, Christmas buying season was rolling around. And they would just force everybody to buy all the old shit up until then because there'd be nothing better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're seeing now is we finally have some companies in a real war. And that, just like with the VR stuff, right? You had Rift. Rift wouldn't ship forever, right? When was the first Rift out? The DK1 was like
4 years ago, 3 years ago.
I was born 6 months later, the DK1 came out. And it's like they never, ever shipped it. They kept spending all their time just perfecting it because they're like, oh, there isn't no competition. And then the second you have HTC, jump into the ring, they're like, holy shit, get to market. They could have gone to market a year before HTC, but they didn't.
Well, they took so long that it gave HTC a chance to get funding to R&D and put out a unit.
And now you got Microsoft doing the same thing with HoloLens, right? The dev kits are like $3,000, just like when the Rift stuff was early on. And that every other company on Earth right now is working on their own AR, the augmented reality. So it's going to be the same thing. Microsoft's going to be like, all right, we're ready to go to market. Our unit is $19.95. And then HTC's going to be like, oh, we got one for $650 and a ham sandwich.
I would think dev kits would be cheaper because what good is your unit? I want to say, what good's your unit if you're not using it? No. What good is your headset if there's no games for it?
Yep.
So you kind of want the developers to give you some sort of a library that's available prior to launch, wouldn't you think? Not charge them $3,000 a unit.
I agree with you, but I know why they do it. I know exactly why they do it. And it's because they're afraid that everybody's going to just buy it up to be playing games and not developing stuff, and it's a limited run of hardware. So they want to make sure that the devs get it. And the best way to do that is just to sell it for an exorbitant amount of money. And then the devs are like, well, it's still worth spending $3,000 on a headset if it helps us develop something that could make millions.
Yeah.
But it still sucks that they have to do that. Or you'd have the whole like Nintendo effect or PlayStation effect where the day it comes out, everybody buys every single unit and then just resells them for $3,000 on eBay. that happens
then
like
and then by the
every
time the
release
retail unit comes out, the dev kits are usually lacking in something. You know.
now. Oh, massively,
At the dev,
massively.
what was the resolution of the first dev kit? The dev kit for a Rift.
It was under 1,000. Yeah, it was like seven.
Yeah.
It was 720p, and then I think the DK2 was still really low resolution. I think the DK2 wasn't even pushing 1080. It might have been 1080, but that was shared between two eyes. And then you had the final version. I don't know what's the final version on the Vive right now, because the Rift and the Vive have the same resolution.
I don't
I think
even.
it's like-
I think it's like.
I think it's closer to 1440. No, it's higher than 1440p.
But it's a weird resolution. It's not like a 16:9.
Yeah, it's more of a per eye. Yeah, it's 2160 by 1200. No, that's the developer edition. No, 2400 by 1080 per. No, that can't be per eye. 2160 by 1200 is what they're reporting, but that's not for the final resolution. It's not 4K though. I know that because they're actually getting 90 frames per second on that, so you don't hurl and throw up all over the place. Ugh. What you
Yeah.
typing over there, big boy? You zoning out on me there? What
No,
you doing?
no. Some AMD folks are watching, and they were like, "What do you mean no one reached out to you about the event?" don't know what to tell you, man. Anyway,
They reached out, but they forgot their checkbook. So Jay was
No.
like, "No."
I'll say this: AMD has a pretty big marketing team,
I'd
and I
imagine.
think there's a lot of like, "Oh, we thought Bob did it. Oh, Bob thought Ray did it." You know what I mean? That kind
Yeah.
of thing. That's what distribution lists are for, guys. You send one email, and then everyone's on it.
Oh, I've had companies before contact me and say, "Hey, would you be interested in doing something?" I'm like, "No." Then like a week later, another person with a different name from the same company contacts me. "Hey, would you be interested to do something?" Hey, another person contacted me last week. Oh, here, yeah, we'll take you off the list. Another week later, they call, "Hey, would you be interested in something?" I'm just like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna stop replying.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop replying." They do not know how to take me off the list. Oh, Microsoft is no different. Sorry, I had to
so-
get my Microsoft poke in today.
You would do that every single week. So no, anyway. Oh, man, this GDC is gonna be interesting. I wasn't planning on going to GDC. I never really go to GDC. GDC is more of a software event. That's why it's the developer conference and not the technology conference. But it should be fun. I'm trying to get some more gaming stuff in. I have a poll for the audience I'm kind of interested in here, and I don't have a way of linking it. Here, let me see if I can put it in the description real quick. I'm gonna start a straw poll real quick. It's about Coconut Monkey. Should I fire him? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's watching or not.
Here, I'm gonna do that one. Should Jay? I'm doing this on Twitter. Fire Coconut Monkey.
No, that's gonna be a good one. Let's see. So here's a question: should I let Coconut Monkey? If you guys don't like his name, deal with it. It's his. He chose it. Should I let Coconut Monkey do reviews on games? Some folks want to see him be more in camera, even on like a solo type of gig.
He's a pretty man. He's nicer to look at than you are.
The problem is I'm just not that up to speed on games. I'm really not. I'm not up to speed. Like, I couldn't tell you about Rainbow Six gameplay. I couldn't tell you like how it compares to. I wouldn't be able to say this game is great, but this one's better, et cetera, et cetera. He's much better at that, and I think he would do a really good job at doing game reviews. Like maybe like once a month, just Coconut's Corner or something. I don't know, where he can just kind of get up there and be like, here's what's happening in games. Here's what I like. Here's what I don't like. Tell me what you think, you know? So what I'm doing right now is in the description of this stream. If you guys refresh it when I say to, then the poll will be there, and you guys can vote. The straw poll will be right at the top. There. I just saved it. So if you guys refresh, you can use the straw poll.
I think it's quite literally going to be yes. My bet's going to be on yes, because I would like to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting getting him comfortable with being in front of the camera, especially solo. But it would literally, I would be his cameraman and editor and stuff for all that. But I don't know. I think it'd be a good dynamic.
It comes with time, though. Anybody, even the most uncomfortable people, you put in front of the camera long enough, they'll get it.
By the way, guys, the Coconut Monkey in chat is not Nick. So don't talk to him like you think it's Coconut Monkey. Coconut Monkey's account for YouTube is actually just Nick. That's the name, just Nick. And no, it's not Nick. It's just Nick.
Just Nick.
Remember we talked about that last week. It was like a Abbott Costello bit. So anyway,
I'm
yeah.
just opening up my little donation window because I keep forgetting and I don't want to miss anything.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
No, I got mine open too. I want to get them a little bit more towards the end. So if you did donate, we will be responding to those a little bit more towards the middle-ish of the stream.
Sure will.
All right, so that's my deal about GDC. I will probably be doing some live tweets and stuff from there. I don't know yet what's going to be embargoed and what's NDA'd and what the dates are. I have no idea what we're going to be seeing, so I can't even give you like any sort of a teaser about what's coming up. What do you want? You had some topics you chose.
I did have some topics I chose. Thank you for asking. I wanted to talk about...
Moving on. So...
Hey, I wanted to talk about my new masturbation machine. I mean, robotic arm back there.
Oh, got it. Wow, 94% to 6% so far.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's check the coconut fired results here.
Oh, no.
Well, I did actually create that poll. Let's see what we got here. So, oh, man, here it goes. Oh, no.
They want him fired?
29% want him fired. 41% said no, though, so he's still safe, except for 30% said Common Core for life.
Oh, see, I hate when you do that. If you want to get a real poll, stop doing those silly
It's
answers.
not a real poll. I don't want Nick fired. Nick is my friend.
I'm kind of curious what those would be, but those are shitty polls because it's people that are just going to be like, I'm going to be impartial and pick the third option, no matter what it is.
It's not a shitty poll, man.
It is a shitty poll. You always do that.
Should
Should I make more videos? Yes, no, or penis? So it's like, how are you going to get a real answer on that?
Well, the people that vote penis obviously aren't taking it very seriously, so I don't want their vote. Their vote would be invalid anyways. See? Bet you didn't think about that, did you?
If you didn't put the penis option on there,
then
the
they'd
split
vote
would
for
probably
something
still
else,
be
but
the
they wouldn't
same.
mean it. They wouldn't mean it, though. They wouldn't mean it, Jay.
They meant penis more than yes or no?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Or they would not select that answer.
Oh, boy.
So, anyways, guys, I want to talk about the next phase of videos on the channel. I'm now playing around with robotics because you guys know I'm a random guy and I like to just, you're like, give me more Codegasm. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go play the robotic arm instead.
I need to correct something real quick.
You go right ahead.
Okay, apparently that is Coconut Monkey in chat. But I always...
Well, you're like, don't talk to Nick. Get away from him.
No, he's been spoofed before. He's had people pretend to be him, but it's like I know for a fact that he's like was moderated under the Just Nick account. So unless he changed his name again and didn't tell me back to I think that's what happened. He had called his YouTube channel Just Nick because he was tired of everyone saying Coconut Monkey is the racist name, blah, 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 blah. And so I think he made it Coconut Monkey because that was his protest.
You know what would have been funny is if I banned him when you said that. Like, if I saw him in chat, I'm like, don't impersonate my friend, dude. I ban him off your channel. Oh my God.
Okay, robotic arm. Got it. Go.
All right, robotic arm. Okay, you guys have all seen the Big Bang Theory episode, I'm guessing, because you're all a bunch of nerds, where, was it Waskowitz or whatever gets his, like, wiener about tugged off by a NASA robotic arm. Anyways, I'm not going to do that with mine. Well, probably not. I don't know. Anyways, a company called Haddington Dynamics I met 2 years ago at World Maker Fair in New York had a robotic arm that I just stumbled across. I was supposed to actually go do a talk with somebody who created a completely different robotic arm that turned out not being that great. And I ended up with this crazy 3D printed robotic arm. Well, long story short, 2 years later, the company got back in touch with me after I pinged them because I was just sitting around thinking, I was like, God, how cool would it be to have a robotic arm that could get down to waist level taped to my desk next to me? Anyways, they said, yeah, sure, we'll send you one. So they flew up here. First, now, Jay, I know you live in California, so everybody can just, like, drive to your house from, like, Intel and, like, NASA and SpaceX and just give you things. But these guys flew in.
I live nowhere near Intel.
From Las Vegas.
They're up in Silicon Valley, dude.
And come on, that's still closer to you than they are to me.
It's like an 8-hour drive.
Plus, did they close down the Oregon plant, the Intel? Because I know they used to have a big plant in Oregon.
I don't know. I know people call me an Intel fanboy. I don't freaking follow their like insider business model.
I bet you right on the other side of his camera is like all the names of like the Intel CEOs and like their personal phone numbers and like what food they like and music they listen to.
I follow them on LinkedIn.
You follow them on LinkedIn. Dude, that's like worse than Facebook. No, but anyways, the robotic arm, they flew up here. They brought me one that they built just for me. That's back there, and they asked if I would be interested in helping them with some of the software stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now. It runs a full-blown Linux kernel on an FPGA supercomputer, so it's not just like running like little trashy Arduino stuff. And I'm looking forward to doing some crazy stuff with it. So there's a video coming out tomorrow on the ARM, so check my channel for that. And yeah, I have a type on the keyboard and knock shit off my desk and all kinds of stuff. I haven't quite entrusted it with my genitals yet. Even if I did, I probably wouldn't tell you guys. Probably. I don't know.
So with those 3D printed gears and stuff, how strong is it?
It's actually remarkably strong. It can lift it full extension about 3 feet out parallel like this. It can move around a kilogram like no problem. Accurately. So
how heavy is a kilogram? Can you tell me what that is in American?
think it's like two plus pounds. Let's see, 1 kg to pound is 2.2 pounds. So decent. You can put a Dremel on it and use it like as an actual CNC machine to like Dremel foam and stuff. But the cool thing about it is it's completely open source, because you know Jay, I don't like doing Kickstarters. I believe you don't either, right?
No,
so
well, okay, so I don't have a problem with Kickstarters. I just won't promote them.
Right. And I feel exactly the same way, but I made an exception this time, and I'll tell you why. Because one, they didn't have a Kickstarter when I contacted them. They did a Kickstarter after I contacted them. No. And the reason I'm promoting the Kickstarter is because the Kickstarter isn't for, hey, we're going to give you this like really, really cool thing or whatever. It's basically to support the development of an open source platform under GPL3 where both the hardware and the software are owned by the community.
Okay.
So the whole idea is, if you don't want to buy the robotic arm from them, you don't have to. You can literally just go print all the STL parts, get the carbon fiber rods, get the harmonic gears right off the shelf parts, put this thing together and build it yourself if you want to.
Are you able to say how much it was?
Yeah, I think the kit they're going to sell for $24.99. I think the Kickstarter, it's like closer to
$24.99. That's cheap.
Yeah, right. No, but it's going to be $24.99. But for the assemble arm, right now it's over $4,000, because to assemble this thing takes like a week, and you gotta be patient.
I mean, at $24.99, everyone should have a masturbation prosthetic.
You should actually. And hey, let's be honest, Jay. Even for $2,000, a lot of people are thinking, oh, that's a hell of a deal if I can tape a fleshlight on the end of it. And guys, I haven't weighed the fleshlight yet, so I don't know if it'll handle it or not. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna have them get me the T-Rex edition, where it's just like this short, but it has the torque to lift like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I'll mount it right in the middle of my DX Racer with some super glue. Oh, speaking of DX Racer, did you get my message on that, Jay?
I did. The black chair I have hasn't had those problems. The gray one back there does, so I might check that bearing.
Rock back and forth in your chair right now.
It doesn't make any noise. Oh wait, it's locked. Hold on.
I was like,
oh, look. Yeah.
Okay, badass. But you know what I'm talking about, right? The DX Racers, you use them for like a year, and they start doing that clunk, 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 clunk.
Right.
I finally found it, guys. I'm gonna do a video on it, but I'll tell you anyways in Jay's video, because Jay's video will get the tech talk will get more views than my actual video on my channel. All you have to do is flip the chair over. There is a clip on the bottom of the gas cylinder.
It's a magazine, not a clip.
I'm not talking about guns here, Jay. No, anyways, pop the clip off. You can literally do it with just like a little screwdriver. It's not even on there that good on the two chairs I was playing with. Pop the clip off, and I'm not even kidding. The base just slides off the piston. It's not going to come flying off and hit you in the face or nothing. Just pull it off, and it slides off. And on the end of the little plunger that's in there is a nasty-ass O-ring that gets all chewed up. All you need to do is hose that sucker down with WD-40, let it soak in a little bit, clean off as much of the busted-off crap you can off that little plunger. Put some oil on it. Doesn't really matter. I just use silicone oil. You can probably use lithium grease or anything like that.
I say I got a lot of white lithium grease.
Yeah, put that on it, and I mean coat it. Coat the rod. Coat it. Be liberal.
Oh, coat the rod.
Yeah, slide that sucker together.
Ooh.
Put the clip back in it, and then
slide it slow.
And you have no more popping. And this chair was like, ask Jay. Remember when you were up there?
Yeah, you'd sit down. It's like boom, pop.
Yeah, boom, pop. Yeah, I fixed it. And the first thing my wife said when I walked downstairs is she's like, wow, you're being awful quiet upstairs. I was like, wait a second, you could hear when the chair was popping? And then I got all embarrassed because you know what I was probably doing if the chair was popping a whole bunch. She had every clue what the hell was going on there. But that's how you fix it. And I couldn't find shit online. I looked everywhere. And everybody's like, oh, spray WD-40 up under the undercarriage assembly. I tried everything first. And I finally just said, fuck it, I'm going to take the gas cylinder apart. If I blow it up, no big deal. I'll just get another gas cylinder. And you cannot blow that gas cylinder up, guys. When you take it apart, you're going to look at it and be like, how does something so simple work? Like, it honestly doesn't look complicated at all. The little rod that comes up that goes in the bottom of the chair, it's like, looks like it was made in the 1800s. But anyways, yeah, just clean it up, and your chair will no longer do the side-to-side pop and clunk and everything like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, the black one does it every now and then, like just a random random clock and plunk. The gray one back there, though, I can't even film a video in it. It's all
there's like it's almost like a felt ring. It's like a little felt ring at the end, and it gets all chewed up, and it's almost like the grease mixes with it and like dissolves it. And I thought when I cleaned it off that it was going to break the mechanism, but no, it's actually works better than it ever has before. so
DX Racer, if you're watching, which I know you're not, get rid of them rings then.
I know, but the funny thing is, it happens with like everything. The only chair I've not seen this happen with is a Herman Miller. And those cost what, like over $1,000? I don't think like if it happened on a chair that was over $1,000, I'd seriously like drive to the company and like firebomb it. Not really. I'm not gonna firebomb the company. Don't come after me.
Some people have noticed that the bitrate really sucks on this video. Yeah, guys, so does my ISP. So.
I know, and I went through all this trouble to make this. You guys notice how my the color's good, the light's good. Although my hair light just died because I accidentally unplugged it earlier and I forgot the batteries went.
It looks fine.
effort, right? I put some effort into it, Jay.
You did.
And I just want you to see that I put some effort into it. Because
see
I usually phone shit in really hard, and I told Jay that I'm not going to phone shit hard anymore. I'm not going to phone it in.
I appreciate that.
Jay had a little talk with me, and it changed my life. It did. By the way,
guys,
I just told
him he could save 15% in 15 minutes by calling Geico.
Jay called me a little bitch. I cried a little bit, and then I realized he was right. No, just kidding. Hey, Jay, give me some dates so I can come see you. I know you're busy, but I want to come see your studio. So
how does December 31st, 2020 sound?
I don't care.
Okay. See you in 3 years.
That's fine. I don't know. Is Trump out of office by then? I don't know. It might be safe to travel again. I don't want to get deported.
I know. You come to California, we might end up being Cal-Exit while you're here, and then you're stuck because you have no passport.
I know, right? I fly in there. Everyone's like, welcome. Hola.
Welcome to the Republic of California.
Please surrender your firearms. Actually, no, they'll have to change that policy if they become a sovereign nation, because you know Trump would just attack them every other week and pick on them. So
we would be the easiest country to overtake because we don't even have a militia. Literally, no one here would be able to own a gun that they could either reload quickly or have more than 10 bullets. It would literally just be like it'd just be like the varsity team picking on the tryouts. You know what I mean? There would just be no chance.
Dude, let's be honest. We could stop the Aquafina trucks from coming there, and you guys would all die within 2 weeks.
No, are you kidding? We've got so much water in this state now. All the dams are breaking.
Oh, serious? I haven't been keeping up on the whole drought thing. So the drought's over. Yeah. You actually can take a shower now.
Okay, so here's what happened, right? They've been going around the state now and inspecting all the dams. We've got quite a few dams around here where I live too. We have these reservoirs. So they basically have been dry forever, just empty. Okay, like dry lake beds, basically. We've had so much rain with this winter season so far that all of the northern part of the state that was under some of the worst drought ever is out of the drought now. It's no longer considered in the drought. There's more than 40% of the state is no longer in a drought condition. Okay. And now normally these reservoirs have to be kind of pressure has to be alleviated from them, and they have to be, the levels have to be kept at a certain height, otherwise there's too much pressure on the walls and such, right? So they've got these emergency spillways, which basically say they can open a valve, let some water out of these lakes, and they just flow down a river. And
bypasses the turbines and everything. Just poop it out.
Up there, they're just kind of like, oh my God, we need all this water. So they weren't letting anything out, and then suddenly they were like, oh my God, the spillways are failing. So the spillways were breaking apart and flooding these towns and stuff down below, specifically Orville. Orville, the spillway design was terrible. It's never been used, by the way. The spillway had never been used. It's never been needed to be used. Yeah, because there was never enough water for them to need it. Right. Well, the water level got so high, they started to use the spillway, and guess what the spillway does? It just comes over the edge of the wall into the hillside and eroded the hillside away. So the hillside...
I thought you were going to say there was going to be a bunch of old garage sale shit, storage unit stuff stored there, since it's never actually used.
No, it's just right next to the main valve thing that's built into the wall of the dam. But the spillway literally just dumps into the hillside. Well, the problem was the spillway was eroding the hillside, which then they were worried about it eroding the actual structure of the dam, which is something like 200 feet high. And they were trying to lower the water level by 50 feet, because guess what's happening tonight? The worst storm in the season is supposed to hit tonight.
Really?
All this rain we've had so far, tonight is what they named this storm? El Diablo or something like that. Literally, we're about to see the worst storm we've seen yet. Up to 4 inches of rain in 24 hours. That's more rain than California's ever had to deal with. So what we're dealing with now is all these years of drought, and everyone going, yeah, let it rain, and the people who don't live here are going, yeah, let it pour in California. And we're like, no, please don't pour in California. Our structure can't handle this. So what's happening now...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, what's happening now is all the snow, all the mountains and stuff, the mountain right by my house, it's been solid white for weeks, right? I can't remember the last time I saw snow on that mountain. And what's happening now is all that water is melting, and it's overflowing all of the spillways and all of the streams and stuff, and all the man-made rivers that go to the ocean. That shit's all just it's just eroding, because it had been eroding for decades under this drought, and now suddenly water's flowing through it, and they can't handle it. And it's handling more volume of water than it's ever had to, since it's ever existed. So literally, California went from going, we're in a drought now, to help us, we're drowning. It's literally...
Jay, you might quite possibly die tonight, is what you're saying. Your house might get washed off its foundation. from the
Well,
4 inches
you've
of
seen
rain.
my backyard, right? You know how the backyard's desert-friendly
Yeah.
backyard? There's
Yep.
no grass. It's all like rock and stuff.
Yep.
Like the white rocks.
Yeah.
You can't see the rocks anymore because grass grew 4 feet tall.
What?
Grass grew through the
You didn't
wheat.
plant any grass in it.
No, there's no grass. There's no plant. There was no planting. So grass grew through the weed barrier and through the rocks and 4 feet high in a couple of weeks.
Whoa, it's like super grass. It's
I'll
like
send
I've
you
never tasted water
You
before.
got. Do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Okay,
Somewhere.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
SMS you a picture right now
do it. Do it.
of that, and I'll also show the stream here. So this is a yard that's never had grass in it. It was never planted, and suddenly now we've got a jungle, like straight up jungle back there. There, I just messaged it to you,
All right, let's see here.
and then once you see it, then I'll show the stream.
All right, come on, sprint. I'm just kidding. I don't use sprint. Sprint's stupid.
I'll go and show it. So that's what my backyard looks like right now, where there's rock that grew through rock.
I still haven't received it. God damn. Come on.
I don't know what to tell you.
Hold on, maybe if I
Sent it to
take
you.
the phone. There it is. I got it. Whoa!
You've seen that yard. I mean,
I've
that's
seen
just,
it.
That's just a couple weeks, man.
So that came up through the freaking vapor barrier plastic or whatever, and
Yes.
through the rock.
Yes.
That's crazy. Dude,
Because-
that's gonna be like, I wouldn't mess with that grass. You probably go out there.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? So when we were driving through the desert to go to Chuckwalla, on Sunday we went to the track. In Chuckwalla,
Uh-huh.
in Desert Center, California, in the middle of the desert, there was grass growing in the desert. What the hell?
I'm trying to think of though, like how do the like seed? I don't know. I'm not a botanist, but like how do the seeds survive being like buried in 150 degree sand for like 20 years? And then
I don't know.
suddenly
It just
they
could
get
be the
water?
minerals. I don't know.
It
I'm
must.
really
That's
ignorant
really
to all
weird.
that.
Yeah,
So-
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Speaking of
Actually,
ignorance, you guys all hear that PewDiePie got kicked from his network, Maker Studios, owned by Disney?
Yeah, actually, too. He got kicked from that, and he got kicked
Oh,
from
YouTube
the
Red.
preferred. Yeah, was he YouTube Red?
Yeah, he had an original on
damn.
YouTube Red.
Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. I knew it was
And-
something to do with like YouTube's
No.
preferred player list or
That's
something like
that's
that.
Google's preferred ad partner thing, which gets him better ads.
Oh.
So he got kicked from like all 3 of the major platforms. And I don't think this is going to dramatically affect his income a whole lot.
No, I don't think it will. I think where it's deficient in some places. Actually, in a way, this might free him from some stuff.
Well,
And
he
now
would
that
have,
he doesn't have that Disney affiliation, not that he ever really like was politically.
well, did you
correct.
see the videos that Boogie
Begin
was
with.
posting? Like how Disney even had like Nazi themed cartoons that Donald Duck participated in back in like the
Yep.
60s during all the
Yep.
German propaganda?
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like wow.
hypocrite much? Yeah.
Well,
This-
okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate on that one, though.
Yeah, no,
a lot of what we experience has to do with current events and what's happening at that era. And back then, it was a big deal, obviously, with propaganda. It's straight up propaganda. How do you get to the hearts and minds of kids? You do it through cartoons. And
Yeah.
Disney was trying to make it look like, Germans and the Nazis, they're bad, and America's great. So they did it through Disney cartoons.
Yep. No, and the thing is on the whole PewDiePie ordeal. Like, I watched the video that he did, and yeah, the humor's way over the top. But the way that I kind of look at it is, you wouldn't go to like Lisa Lampanelli, right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't go to Lisa Lampanelli's stand-up comedy retreat or whatever, or watch one of her videos and then get offended when she talks about black guys plowing her, right? You just wouldn't. It's Lisa
Yeah.
Lampanelli, just like Louis C.K. talking about like toddler vaginas. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched his shit, but he gets pretty crazy, right?
I'm going to say no.
No, but he pushes the limit, right? You have these people that push the limit of comedy to the point where it's so absurd it's not even believable. And granted, PewDiePie, like he did not do that right. But again, I mean,
If you guys aren't
he's not
familiar
exactly a
with what
professional
happened,
comic. Go
he's
ahead, what?
been for those that aren't familiar with what happened and what we're referring to. PewDiePie,
Yeah.
he pushes the boundaries a lot. And when you're the most subscribed to person in the world, 53.5 million subscribers, you kind of start to feel like you can get away with anything you want.
Yep.
And he's always, and when you do certain levels of humor, he doesn't do the gaming stuff anymore. Now it's just like straight up kind of humorous type stuff, I guess, skits and things.
Yeah, I kind of
where-
feel like he's following the whole kind of like drama, social experiment, shock
Right.
type comedy arc. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing the gaming stuff anymore.
I mean, neither of
Um,
us like that kind of stuff. We really don't. I mean, we're not defending it from a "oh my god, PewDiePie, we love you" perspective. I'm just talking from a he obviously pushed the limit too far. People called him on it, but it's also very hypocritical of the media to keep attacking comics for being
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
Even if they're bad comics, it's like you know, it kind of all started. What was the one guy that was getting heckled from Seinfeld? Would you remember his name?
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know the guy who played Kramer.
Yeah, he kind of started this whole thing. Like, you never heard, like, you know, Howard Stern apologizing for shit and stuff like that. You never heard any comic apologizing for stuff until that incident. And that was the incident that kind of set the precedent. And then it just started blowing up, and then I
believe he made a bunch of anti-black remarks, right?
He did. He did. That was the guy. Yeah, and it was like after they were attacking him. It was like a mutual thing going back and forth. But he gave it back to him. And that just blew up. Like, people were like, no, you can't do that. That's not politically correct. And then it kind of started this whole wave of other comics getting beat down for it. And a lot of the comics actually kind of did what PewDiePie did, where they just turned back the media and they were like, F you. You know, we don't care.
Right.
Everybody can drop us. We don't care. We'll go do our own thing. And then you have comics, you know, like Louis C.K. and stuff. They just do their stuff no matter what. They don't care if everybody drops them. They're like, you know what? We're already set for life. And I kind of have a feeling that's probably what PewDiePie is going to do. But playing devil's advocate again, PewDiePie did... The things that he did horribly wrong is, one, God, if you haven't watched it, he literally paid people to hold up signs that said, like, kill all Jews or something like that?
No, there were signs that said death to all Jews, and he used Fiverr to do it. If you guys don't know what Fiverr is, it's a website where you can basically pay someone $5 to do something. It's got to be non-sexual, but it could be like, you know, hey, I'm an intro artist. I can make you an intro, and you pay someone $5 and I make you an intro. It's like, hey, I'll pay you $5 to, you know, whisper something into the microphone and I'll use it in a video. Whatever. It could be an artist. It could be anything. Literally, I'll pay you $5 to do something.
Yeah,
I think you used it once to get a woman to, like, say Barnacules is the best guy on YouTube or something, right?
Yep. I had two women. I paid two women $5 to be like, Barnacules is the best YouTuber on the whole internet in front of a green screen so I could put him in my video.
So he paid some three guys on Fiverr to hold up signs that said "Death to all Jews." It was used in one of his skits, so that went viral because it was picked up as being anti-Semitic, and then it made it back to Disney Studios and who owns Maker Studios, who was his MCN, and then they dropped him and all that stuff. Yeah. So you guys can see how no one is really free from drama in this world.
No. They're not. I mean, as long as there's a group out there that thinks that they can get some attention from attacking you, they will. I mean, it happens. And to some degree, it even happens to me on a smaller scale, right? I mean, there's always people that, like, you get the mails from people that are like, oh my God, I can't believe that you own a gun. You're a horrible influence on my kids, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm sure you've received emails like that too in the past. I haven't received so many of them lately. But anytime you make a video, there's always going to be the people that disagree with something you did in it, right?
And the bigger you get, the more you're scrutinized.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, and the one thing I will say, and PewDiePie even admitted this when he came out in his video, being serious. And he's like, here, I'm talking to you as me, not as my character.
I haven't seen his response yet.
Yeah, he basically apologized at the very end in typical PewDiePie fashion. He's like, let's all do my secret Nazi handshake, the bro fist. And that's what he ends it on. Like, just as a final poke. But through the thing, he's basically talking about how the media has attacked him, and they have. If you go look at the media headlines, they're always PewDiePie is ruining YouTube. YouTube, you know, if this is the future of media, we're all doomed, blah, blah. But the thing they don't realize, PewDiePie has raised tens of millions of dollars for charity. Like all the good stuff he does never gets talked about. And so he kind of touched on that in the video. But obviously he pushed the limits too far, and comics that do stuff like that often do find a limit. And I will tell you, the biggest problem I had with what he did is that he did it in a public place, right? Yeah. Like the fact that he had somebody holding up a sign that said that in a public place, that's unfair to the other people that are in that place. I believe that if you're in a public place, you should try to act in a way that you're not making everybody else feel scared, right? You wouldn't run around a public place with an AK-47 shooting it into the air, even if it was legal. You know, because somebody's going to freak out and do something. You should not do those things in public. But as far as him just being a shock comic, how is what he did any different than the crap that, like, Howard Stern does? And things like that. I mean, that's the part that I didn't really understand, is that the media immediately took the angle of he was speaking politics and he wasn't being a comic, when he was clearly being a comic.
Yeah.
And that's where the context thing comes in, and that's what bugs me, is when people take things out of context on purpose. And we've talked about this a little bit too, where people actually look for fights, right? You have people on Twitter, you have people on Instagram and everything that they'll leave a comment and they will take something so far out of context just to get it to align with their argument, to try to poke you and to try to force a response that is laughable.
Right.
And that's kind of what I think is starting to happen more and more nowadays. And not everybody will agree with me, and that's fine. Everybody's allowed to have an opinion. But I think that if you're a shock comic and you're just your whole persona is to basically push the limits and shock people, and you're that type of comedy, and that is your audience that you're attracting, then you should be all right to do that. That should fall well within your freedom.
One more thing.
Okay.
Disney
has every right to drop him. I'm going to say that right now. Disney and any company affiliated with PewDiePie or anybody else has every right in the world to kick him to the curb if he's not doing what they think supports their image. Because they have to deal with the fallout too. But I'm speaking from the perspective of just PewDiePie, though, in the media basically just trying to slaughter him and to try to take him out of context. That's what I don't like.
Yeah. I feel a lot of the fallout, like the whole Disney dropping him and stuff, is more so because Disney's more afraid of the people getting mad at them for not dropping him
100%.
Than actually caring about what he did.
Dude,
and
Disney,
then YouTube goes,
yep.
well, crap, if we don't do something now, then they're going to be mad at us. So I feel like, again, this is just more people bending to the will of the social snowflakes out there.
Yep.
Because people just are so hurt by words these days.
Matt Iscoff said, wasn't Walt Disney a huge racist? Actually,
yeah,
he was.
He was.
He totally was. Like, publicly known racist. Not to support that in any way, shape, or form, but yeah, the whole situation just kind of bugs me from the perspective, and you're right, it is collateral damage, right? Disney is distancing themselves because Disney went into a deal with him knowing that he does shitty, crazy comedy.
Yeah.
Like, they knew that in the beginning, right? Like, they did, what is it? What was that show he did? Scared PewDiePie or something like that?
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing is they canceled the second season of that, which apparently was already shot and edited and everything. And he touched on that in his video too, that it's like, how's it fair to punish all the people that worked on that show because of the one thing wrong he did that was unrelated to the show?
He can afford to pay him. He makes like $500,000
right?
a month, man.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure PewDiePie's set for life. The money can't be a problem with him because I mean I think last time we checked or whatever was it 24 million he made in YouTube AdSense or something like that. I was like, I think it was 24 million.
And you know how much he's probably making on the side?
Oh, 3, 4, 5 times that has to.
Yeah.
Be. Yeah, that's the petty cash bin.
I worry about guys like him though, who make as much money as he is and as crazy as he is, because I almost feel like there's a level of drugs involved in there somewhere. I mean, that's probably that's probably. I don't know if it's fair to say, but I've noticed he's gotten like really skinny and stuff as time's gone on, and I kind of worry about him. Like he doesn't seem like he's in a good place health-wise, if that makes sense.
Well, famous people generally do turn to drugs. They do. I mean, historically, especially comedians, right? I mean, if you go back and look at all the like the Blues Brothers.
Look at any 70s rock band.
Yeah.
Right?
No, drugs
Jimi Hendrix,
become a part of it.
Jimi Hendrix, The Doors. These guys could only do the stuff they did because they were on drugs, you know?
Yeah.
It's
you get nervous, right? I mean, anybody, doesn't matter how hardened you are, when you get up into a group, in front of a group of 1,000 people, even if it's behind a camera in the safety of your own room, it's like you subconsciously know that there are hundreds of thousands of people watching you. That does tend to make you a little more unnerved than if you were making a video for your friend. Generally speaking. So you can see how some of these people, especially like comics, because comics are some of the most depressed people there are. That's why they feel like they have to entertain people. Yeah, Robin Williams, like the most tragic of all the cases, because he's somebody I idolized as a child. And when somebody commits suicide that you idolized, you start to wonder if like the path you followed, like if that was bad. I don't know if that makes sense. Like that, and that's kind of what I did when he passed away. As I looked at it, and it's like I wanted to be him. Like he was the total package. Like he was funny, he could act, everybody liked him, didn't have a mean bone in his body, and he did that. And then you start thinking to yourself, you're like, oh shit, I idolized him, and he was just this entire time like falling apart inside, and nobody knew.
Yeah.
So depressing tech talk tonight, but
that's all we do: piss people off and get depressing. That's why the show's not gonna be around that much longer, guys.
Yeah. No. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, the show's probably going to go on an indefinite hiatus once we move studios.
Yeah.
So it's just the amount of time it takes to set this up, the amount of people that complain and bitch about it. It's just not worth it anymore. So it's one of those things where I'm probably going to do a restructuring of the show later on when it makes more sense. But yeah, it's just I feel like the show's kind of run its course, if that makes sense. 4 years is a long time to do a live stream once a week every week. It's a long time.
It is. And I mean, Jay and I both talked about it. It just seems like it's a good place to start winding down to end it. Because the truth is, I mean, Jay has got a lot of stuff going on, and his shitty internet connection can't support these activities. But anyways,
that's why it's going up at
I know
720 in a shitty bit.
so Jay's got stuff to do, and to be honest, Tech Talk's been the one stable thing, and I want to talk about this like kind of from the heart here. Tech Talk has been something that's stable for me through an unstable time, and Jay knows, we've talked about it. I've been depressed as shit for months. I've finally popped out of it. For real this time, not like, oh, I drank a Red Bull and I feel good for 10 minutes. I mean, I've legitimately felt good for the better part of a week now. And I'm starting to get better sleep and things like that. But the reason for those things is because I just stopped holding on so tight to stuff. I started just deferring things to other people that needed to get done and hiring the right people to help me with shit I don't understand myself. And it's taken a huge amount of stress off. And through all that dark times, Tech Talk was the only thing that I was doing mostly reliably. I know I missed a couple of them. But Tech Talk was the thing I was doing reliably, and I think Tech Talk became a pacifier for me. Honestly, I mean, Jay, would you say that's kind of accurate? Is that Tech Talk something that I was just kind of like latching onto? Like it was like it was kind of preventing me from standing on my own. Again,
I agree. I do agree with that. People in the chat are freaking out, right? Look, the live streams are not gone. Just Tech Talk as you know it is going to be. And we still got a few weeks before it goes on its hiatus. But
yeah, we're not getting divorced, guys. Jayz and I we swapped blood, spit, and other things we won't talk about.
No, Jerry and I have talked about this a lot offline before this. This is not like new, okay? No. Jerry talks about Tech Talk being a stability.
Yeah.
In an unstable situation in his life. Tech Talk for me became more stressful for me when I already have a ton of stress. And it's one of those things, like I've said it before, Thursday night's the only night that the family isn't doing anything, where I could actually spend time with family, where I'm not doing something for work, or I'm not doing something for the gym, or for obligations that's going on with either my daughter's school or her extracurriculars. It's the one night that I could sit down with the family, and I can't because I'm doing Tech Talk. And by the time I wrap up the show and get downstairs, I have maybe an hour to spend with my daughters before they go to bed, and then I have to wait until the weekend to do something with them. So there's a lot of reasons why the show is going to go off air for a while I figure out how to best proceed with it. And then the other frustrating parts are the fact that we've got to deal with this Skype connection that's shit. We've got to deal with audio issues. It's just really hard to do a stream like this when you're not in the same room as the person you're trying to do it with.
Yeah, and I think it'll be one of those things where it's like, if when I still fly down to see you and you fly up to see me, we might still do the impromptu stream and stuff like that. But it's just not going to be Tech Talk. It's going to be whatever we end up just deciding on in the spur of the moment.
Yeah, it's just I mean I can see that people are upset about it, but guys, these are things that have to be done.
It's an evolution. You guys have to realize Jay has grown a lot over the last 2 years. I mean, not just in size. No, I'm just kidding. You're actually still tiny, and it bugs me. No, but Jay,
I've been putting some weight back on. I got to fix that though. I got to get my head right.
You know what? You're still looking good though. You're really still in the face and everything like that. I could tell last time when you started getting a little bit of weight, it showed in your face like immediately. You still look like an anorexic, like Somalian dude. So
I look like a fat skinny dude.
You're just a fat skinny dude. But Jay is like, I mean, he's doing some crazy stuff. He's interacting with, I mean, he's doing the work too. That's the other thing Jay and I talked about is I've been very lazy, guys. And I'll admit that. I'll admit that to you guys. I know I can stand behind depression, stress, and everything causing those issues. But at the end of the day, I've been very, very lazy as a result. And it finally caught up with me. I mean, my YouTube stats went down. I stopped making videos. I got depressed. Things started collapsing in. And Jay has been true to just stay in the course, planning the things, busting his ass every day, doing everything. And it's finally paying off. And in a way, I don't want to be an anchor to that. I don't want to support something that isn't 100% mutually beneficial to anybody. That's not just Jay. That's me and anybody that I work with. And the other thing, too, is I just like I said, as long as I keep being too complacent and I keep just holding on to Tech Talk, it's going to stop me from going and doing the other things I want to do, which is my own live stream that I've been setting up for and I've been getting the equipment for and preparing this room for a long time that I just haven't pulled the trigger on. And the reason being is I keep saying, oh, I still got Tech Talk. I still got that. It just makes sense for Jay and I to just put the thing to bed. And later on down the road, if we do collaborations, it'll be on a collaboration basis. It'll be on the things that we're doing or the talks we're doing, or hopefully it's gaming. That's one thing that I do miss doing with you, Jay. And I know it's my fault for back in the day backing out a lot of that stuff. You were the one that were always doing the streams. Come on, game with me. Come game with me. And eventually got to the point where you just stopped asking me, and I completely understand because I just was such a flake in that area.
Well, then I moved here and I couldn't stream games anymore anyway.
Yeah, and I would love to get back to the point where it's like once you have your studio and you have your super fast internet connection, I would love to get back. And the racing simulator is vastly becoming a priority, mainly because I promised my son for his birthday this year that I would build it out. So the simulator's getting done. I have the HTC Vive all installed now and ready to go. So I look forward to doing some VR racing live streams, and I would love for you to pop in every once in a while into one of them and hand my ass to me. I think that would be a lot of fun.
What,
like both of us in VR.
On racing streams?
Yeah, like you're in iRacing, I'm in iRacing, we're both in VR.
You don't.
No,
stand
I
a
know,
chance.
I know, but
that's not me being arrogant. That's me being confident. There's a difference.
no,
there.
Jay
They're
is
kind of
actually a
the same
badass
trait.
driver. That's one thing I will always concede to Jay. Of all the things that I like to poke Jay for, driving a car, the only thing I got on Jay in the car is all-wheel
Dirt.
drive in the dirt.
Or even rear-wheel drive in the dirt.
Or rear-wheel drive in the dirt. I'm confident I could spank Jay, but if he ever got some serious time behind the wheel like I did, I'm pretty sure he would excel. Because I don't know, Jay, you have a weird sense of like, I'm more of a goofy guy. All my success on YouTube and everything has come from just people enjoying my personality when I'm happy and when I'm in a good place, right? It doesn't necessarily come from the effort that's put into it. I heard your burp. What I think your following comes from, the stability of your following is that you're just hardcore. You chase something and you see it through every single time. Like, I can't think of hardly anything, if anything, that you've abandoned, like, to go do something else. Like, you always see everything to the end. And I respect the shit out of that.
I appreciate that because I mean, I do feel like that's one of my strong traits is my work ethic. And
I genuinely, hey, actually, one more thing I want to say too, and I want to say this publicly too, is I used to hold.
I was drunk, guys.
Yeah, that night when we stopped the stream when he was farting in here. Yeah.
I was drunk.
The one thing I want to say is I feel genuinely bad. I genuinely do. That and I didn't realize I was doing it. I hope Jay knows this, that I didn't realize I was doing it. But I was holding my YouTube stats and my YouTube success over his head for a long time when I passed him. And
you passed me like right away, by the way. There's like 4 years of chasing you.
It was, yeah, no, I know. It was, and the thing was, it was one of those things where it was like, I guess it was a joke taken too far. It was one of those things where it's like, I didn't mean to do, because I never want to hurt you, Jay. You know that, right? I mean, a lot of people don't realize we actually have a closer friendship than probably anybody even knows off the internet. I consider you like family. And I feel really bad for that because it took me realizing that after you passed me up, what that felt like, to realize that it wasn't a nice joke. It wasn't. And I wish you like all the success in the world. And you can even ask my wife. Like, I talk to her all the time about, holy shit, look at this guy's stats. Look at him run. Look at what he's doing. And you've become my motivation now.
Well, good.
You have.
You need
I finally
some
hit
sort of motivation.
No, I do. And I've hit that point where I do realize that a lot of my success came from a few key things, like, you know, the room tour and the stuff back when I was in my prime, when I was just really excited and full on ADHD about everything. And then I kind of just rode that for a very long time. And I feel bad about it. I genuinely do. And now that I'm starting to feel what it's like to see that, you know, that doesn't last forever, now it's time for me to actually double down, and I have to get back to that mind state that I had. You're kind of the person that I'm modeling right there. Not copying, modeling, mind you, because I don't want to be.
Right? Okay, yes,
I don't want to be bald. I don't want to be balding, and I don't want. And I don't.
I'm
not
balding. I'm graying. The only hair that's ever missing is because I pull it out of my head because I'm so damn stressed. But I haven't done that. Look, I've kept the front of my hair grown for a long time. Look at that.
No, you've done that. No, that's cool. And you know what the weird thing is? I remember the first time I met you, I looked at your forehead and I was like, why has he got like this morning shadow thing going on there? It never showed up on camera. It never really showed up on camera the way that you did the lighting or the gel or whatever. I never saw it until I saw you in person. And I was like, why does he have like this like Groucho Marx mustache growing on his head?
Why does this guy got a beard on his forehead?
It was the weirdest thing. I didn't know, but you hit it well for a long time. And I'm glad that you finally got over it. But anyways, no, without any more sappiness, guys, I am very proud of Jay and everything that he's doing right now. And I am publicly apologizing for being insensitive and lowering my success over him. But on the flip side, I'm also going to take some credit for him being so damn famous because he probably just got sick of my shit.
I was gonna say I have to give you credit where credit is due because you just flaunted it so much. I just went, you know what? I'm just gonna quietly sneak up behind this guy, and then I'm gonna hit the nitrous as I go by.
You know what the best part was ever, and I don't know if you'll agree with this or not, but oh my god, I remember every time we'd always talk, you'd be like, oh, subscribers don't matter, views don't matter, this don't matter, this don't matter. The second you passed me on all of those stats, not just one of them, the second that you creamed me on all of them, the victory dance that came out of you, that's like, that's all that matters, everything matters. I was just like, shit, I knew it. I knew he thought that the whole time. Oh, it was all part of the silent strategy. But
well, remember, I had more Instagram followers than you, like, all along.
Oh yeah, you did.
And then you passed me on Twitter. I passed you back on Twitter.
Dude,
and
you
then,
were picking
and then
me
I passed
off.
you on views, and then I passed you on subs.
Yeah, and you're
Anyway.
you're over 100 million views now, aren't you, on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm like 118 million or something like that.
That's crazy, dude. Well, my hat's off to you and to everybody that says you're a dickhole. They're actually pretty accurate, but it's
I am a dickhole. I've never No one will ever find evidence of me denying that I'm a dickhole. You know what's worse than a dickhole is someone who says I'm not a dickhole. And I am, and I own it. Okay.
You know how Jay loves me? This is how I know Jay loves me. Okay. This is how I know.
What have I done?
Jay is no. This is great. This is great. So Jay, if Jay just meets you and you don't mean a whole lot to you, he's just straight up to your face like, I don't fucking like this. Stop doing this or get away from me. This is how you know if Jay loves you, is when he asks you first if you're in a good place before he crushes you. that's how you know when Jay actually takes the time to be like, I don't know, are you in a good place? Can I give it to you straight right now? And he doesn't just blast you, but he's like, are you good? When he does that's how you know Jay loves you. That's the moment that it's like, you know, Jay loves you.
I told Nick about the conversation we had yesterday, and I told him it started with me going, can you handle a straight, direct Jay for a moment? And if you can, then we can have this conversation.
You did. You like prepared me for it. You're like, I'm not gonna have this conversation unless you're ready for it mentally, because I'm not gonna be the person that makes you go eat the barrel. You know, it's like
nothing's worse than when you're just like going along your business and someone smacks you upside the head with reality when you're not ready for reality. Yeah. You've got to be willing to accept it before you can be told whatever you're gonna be told.
It was a good day for that talk though. I was in a really good place. Everything was going good, and I can honestly tell you, Jay, that I walked away from that conversation happier than had we not had it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to say. And oh wow, you just got $5 from Joel? Joel, you're mine. Stop giving him money. Joel, you better buy me a coffee next time. No, just kidding.
So anyway, guys, to recap this though, Tech Talk. Look, I used the word hiatus for a reason. I didn't say canceled. It's just I'm going to time it with the move to where it's going to take a while before it comes back. And if it comes back, I don't know if it's going to be like it is today. I do want a bit of a more structured show. But the reason why you don't get structure is because, like I just said, it's the one night I kind of don't have anything going on, and I really could just never find myself in a position to where I mentally wanted to go and find topics and just drill down into them and bullet points and documents. It's not the WAN show. I don't have a bunch of people working for me putting together topics and stuff. So it's like, it was just a hangout show. And that's all it was ever meant to be. And the name really kind of came back to bite us in the ass, because if it was just called the Weekly Hangout, nobody could say anything about the topics, right? We should have changed the name a long time ago. And nothing says another live stream like a monthly hangout doesn't come back later. And trust me, too, it kind of sucks because, believe it or not, Jerry and I walk away from a lot of money every month in donations. And we do dramatically appreciate that. But also, too, if this was simply about the money, as people have accused us of, well, there's no way in hell we'd be putting this to bed.
Right. So,
but I kind of want to. But I kind of want to fill the slot with another video per week. I'd like to add a Thursday video.
And the other thing is, you might like you said, you might start up another show. But I'll tell you guys right now, because of the distance between us and the technical problems that are involved with tapping me into the show and everything, it's highly likely that I'm going to be the regular co-host on that. Just preparing you guys. Don't expect it. Don't hassle Jay if I don't come in as the co-host on the next show.
I don't foresee there being any other channel involved as a regular co-host thing. I mean,
I still think you should get Nick or somebody to be like your regular. Since I mean you're starting a studio, you're going to have these people around. I mean, you should get people familiar with them. That's just my personal view on things. Plus, you contrast well with others. That's the other thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. You've come a long ways. Like watching your old content versus your new content, as far as your comfort in the camera and like engaging people through the lens. Like I love your new stuff. I honestly do.
All you need in chat says it doesn't have to be Thursday. But if you listen to what I said Thursday was the only night I had free that I could do this. But what sucks is it's also the only night I have free to spend with family. So there's no other nights available. You know, it's just it is what it is, and it's sad, and I'll miss it. But
and let's be honest, 10%. Okay, let's be honest. 20% of your audience right now is like, woo, yeah, oh my God, Jerry's finally gone. Because we've always had a portion of our audience that just never really get.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's the weirdest thing. Not that I would ever want to pander to them. I'm joking in that respect. But it is kind of weird that there's that contrast there. We're not going to have to worry about those people being like, oh, I like Jerry better than Jay, or I like Jay better than Jerry. Like a lot of that stuff stems from this interaction that we have. That's not why we're stopping it. I'm just kind of like looking at the whole glass half full perspective of us kind of going and doing our own thing again. So... But it'll be interesting. I'm still going to troll Jay like every chance I get on Twitter, and he's going to come back with all of his witty little quips. It's still going to be good times. We're just not.
It kind of sucked. Like when you were like, "Does anybody ever curious about what my view of Twitter looks like?" I didn't read Simone's answer until after I did it. I was like, "Nope," and I scrolled down. I was like, "God damn it, she already beat me to it." And then
it was like 2 seconds. Like 2 seconds, she did that reply. Simone's another one. Like, actually, here, you know what? Let's take a second and talk about like all the like really cool things. Because
and by the way, I'm cool with letting the show go a little longer tonight because the family is gone tonight.
I can probably only let it go till about 7 because I do have to shoot and edit the Dexter
You can
video.
go till I say it's ready to be done. Sir.
All right, if that's what you say.
No, if you actually are gonna make a video, then you should probably go now.
No, I'm gonna do it after 7. Shut up, dude. I already got everything set up. I'm like,
hot
hey,
in
when
here.
I'm in a good place, I bet you I shoot a video 10 times faster than you do. I just don't edit it 10 times faster.
I don't know. I don't know if you shoot one faster than me. I bet you I could do an entire build video faster than you shoot a regular video.
We might have to put that to the test when I come down there. We're in like separate rooms with a clock at the bottom. Where you at now? Oh, damn, he's talking about the hard drive. Oh, Jay already installed 2 of them. Shit.
I'm gonna sabotage all of your stuff.
That's fine. You go ahead and do that. But
go ahead
yeah.
and say what you want to say, and then we better start hitting some of these donation comments, though.
I already forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Oh no, I was gonna say when do you anticipate the last show is gonna be like roundabout?
Well, okay, so
the people can mentally prepare.
The person that's in the studio now, their move out date is exactly 1 week from today. Now that's not going to affect me in any way because I can't move in the day they move out. So my lease says I can move in March 10th, but the landlord has already said they don't know. They only put March 10th and not March 1st because if they move out on the 23rd, that only leaves the 24th and the 27th. And the 28th to have it ready for the 1st. That's only 3 days. It's enough time to reset the place, clean it, paint it, whatever it needs, right? So they put the 10th as a tentative. If it's ready sooner than that, they will give me the keys sooner than that. The latest would be the 10th. So that means there is the 23rd, the 2nd, and the 9th still. So I would say the anticipated send-off would be February 9th. Excuse me, March 9th.
Would you object to the possibility of doing the last show in your new studio, whether it's set up or not, just to send off as you're in your new place?
Well, then
we'd have a 1080p stream finally, maybe even 4K.
I don't even know if I'll have internet set up right away.
Oh, that's true.
Because right now I can't even schedule the anticipated turn on because there's still an active account there at that address.
Yeah. So we got a couple of weeks anyways, guys. So it's not like this is the last one, but it's cool. A lot of cool stuff happened on the show. Met a lot of cool people. I think it's really cool that we, like Simone, for instance, that we had her on as a guest.
I kind of feel like we sort of helped push her up into the sky to catch the win that she got.
Oh, we did. It was a group effort. It was a combination.
She was already
of me,
getting the
Tech
attention
Talk,
of some folks, but we were like the first gig that she went on and talked about what she was doing, and then she got all the way to freaking Corbelt, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, geez.
She literally lived on a boat in another country, and I talked to her. Then Norm talked to her because I was like, "You got to talk. You make robots." Of course, Norm Chen from Tesla. He's gonna be interested, and he was. And then Adam got involved like immediately. Like I was surprised that happened. Adam Savage was like, "Whoa, chick making robots." Everything fell into line. It just happened that Will Smith was already leaving Tested, so she fell right into that slot. And I mean, she's a good fit. She's a good fit for the show, and I am so damn proud of her. But it's cool that we got to have her on Tech Talk. We've had a lot of other really cool people on Tech Talk. Some of the stuff, unfortunately, some of the people that we had, backed away, left the internet entirely. Some of them were relationships that broke down and everything, but it was just really cool.
We saw a lot come through this show.
We did. I mean,
there's 143 episodes, including this one so far. That's a lot. That's a lot of time and effort and stuff on there. And people are making me feel bad in chat with the way they're like, no, don't end. I love the show. But, this has to happen at this point, is the way I see it. And everyone's probably going, I don't understand why it has to happen, but I can't get you to understand.
It's fine. And this is the thing is I want to make sure that everybody knows that this is mutually agreed to. This is something that benefits both Jay and I to do. So keep the rumors down, okay?
Oh, the rumors are going to happen no matter what. But
I'm going to put that in this video so somebody can watch it. They can see it. The rumor mill, anytime anything goes on, the rumor mill is going to be going. You're going to have the people that are like, oh, Jay just got rid of Jerry, or oh, Jerry left the show, or no, none of that happened.
It does put or take a lot of stress off my shoulders, though, to not have the stress of this is Jerry's only public visibility right now. You know what I mean? Because for a while there, Tech Talk was the only public,
it was the only thing I was really doing. Like I said, it was becoming a pacifier, and then everybody. And the thing that really I didn't like a lot was when people would go on Twitter and they would say, "Why doesn't Jerry just host Tech Talk when you weren't around?" And that always put a lot of stress on me because I'm like, it's not my show. It's like, it's not my place to do that. And then that invalidates you because that's your show. And they're just like, oh, well, Jerry should just go do it then. Because they're like 50-50 partners. That's not how it works.
They're
guys.
used
That's his
to
show.
They're used to like Linus Tech Tips, where if Linus is out, then Luke can do it, and et cetera, et cetera. But that's all one entity. That's all one channel, one company. You know.
Yeah.
So it's different. And we tried the idea of going back and forth, but it's just this dynamic is weird regarding it being entirely over Skype and Discord, whatever. You know.
It is.
Okay.
So the plan is, as soon as Jay cancels Tech Talk, I'm gonna wait a week
Hiatus.
and then I'm gonna go.
Hiatus.
Don't worry though, because I'm gonna start a new show called Tech Talk, but it's gonna be like T and then 2 slashes for the A, for the talk, and then I'm not treading on his stuff. So
do it. No one will call you out at all. Do it.
They won't.
Okay. PC419 Tech Tips says, "Hey guys, love your work. Wow, $50 donation. Thank you, sir. Love your work. You both have inspired me to start my own tech YouTube channel in Australia. Keep up the great content."
Dude, you know how many channels we've probably launched?
Yeah. No, I kind of have to feel like we've made an impact in some way on
Huge.
YouTube.
We have.
Okay, so let's see what else we got here. We've got Nick Kloss says, "I love your channel, Jay. I've been around for another $50 donation. Wow, you guys are rich. I've been around for some time and absolutely love. And I'm not being sarcastic. I mean, that's a lot of money to just be like, here you go.
No,
Absolutely love your tech videos and Skunkworks. You and Coconut Monkey are awesome. Keep up the great work and congrats on the new studio. Thank you. Right now it's just an empty shell when I move in there, and I have to furnish it all from scratch. It's gonna be crazy. Hey Jay, this is from Fei Dang. Hey Jay, first time watching live stream. About to build my first custom loop, and I have been watching a couple of your older videos on building custom loops. And there was one you mentioned flushing a new radiator with vinegar and distilled water. Is that necessary for EK radiators? EK radiators are some of the cleanest rads that you can get on the market, but they've still been sitting open in it. Well, they have plugs in them, but they've still been sitting and exposed to air. It's still a good idea to flush them. And you can do that with like Primo Chill's a premix or the, what they call it, the pre-flush. You can do the Mayhem's cleaning kit. There's different things you can do, but I still recommend at the very least flushing them with distilled water, at the very least, just to get any particles or crud that might be sitting in there out.
What's the biggest concern with that stuff? Just getting gummed up in the fins of the heat exchangers inside of the blocks, or is it just like the pump?
It's more or less contamination of the fluid.
Okay. I mean, does that lead to a bigger problem? Like,
you gotta remember how these things are welded together. They're basically welded together under pressure and like an oven, right? So the tanks are like pushed on, and then it's heated up, and then the solder melts, and there's always going to be some flux or something kind of left behind as through residue. So the manufacturers usually will clean them. Like AlphaCool doesn't clean their rads at all, so AlphaCool rads need to be cleaned. EK does clean their rads, but then again, they're put into a box and they're just sitting until you use them. So it's just good practice to clean them out, just in case something got missed. Mattman B says, "Hey Jay and Jerry, happy to be here. Congrats Jay on the studio. I'm glad you're feeling better, Jerry, and you're getting the Nerd Cave back together. By the way, is that a waterproof headset? Laugh my ass off. How's the new Vive? The only serious question I have is for Jay, and I missed him on Twitter, so I'm asking now. What does the term bottlenecking mean?" The term bottlenecking means one particular piece of hardware's performance is being limited by the lack of performance of another piece of hardware. So if your CPU can't handle all the data being sent to it by a fast GPU fast enough, the GPU slows down to compensate for the speed of the CPU. Same could be happen too if you have really fast multi-threaded CPUs and really shitty speed on memories. There can be a level of bottleneck happening there as well. So there's always some sort of bottleneck in your system. It's just the problem is the term is usually overused. Like, oh no, you're going to bottleneck that GPU with that CPU, and they leave it open-ended. Well, how much is it going to bottleneck? What kind of percentage am I talking about here? So that's what bottleneck is. It just means you got all this stuff trying to cram into a small pathway.
And just in case there's like an English disconnect there also, I mean, the term itself basically comes from flipping a bottle upside down, and the narrow neck of the bottle slows the draining of the fluid. So therefore it's bottlenecking.
Right.
So it's like
literally
based
based on
out
the shape.
instant. Yep.
Yeah. This is from Mason Greathouse. Says, "Hey Jay, no question. Just want you to know that you've got the best tech channel on YouTube." Sorry, Jerry. That's what he typed.
I'm not a tech YouTube channel, bro. I'm a nerd YouTube channel. There's a difference.
That's true. You've never really been a tech channel.
You build computer shit. I play with robotic arms and 3D printers and stuff.
You're all NASA and crap. You and Nick, keep up the great work. Going to be doing my first custom water cooling loop on my 6700K and 1080 SLI rig. Thanks to you. Thanks for being awesome. You too, Jerry.
Aw.
Thank you, Mason. Let's see. We got. If I have to read the comment for a second, just make sure they're not like, don't say my name.
I know we did that so much. I had one guy like donate. Was it like the $250? And I said his name. He's like, don't say my name in caps. I was like.
Probably because his wife was watching and he like did it on his phone while he was sitting next to her on the couch. Now she's
it's
like, you did what? You spent the rent money? Okay, Devin Waldock says, Jay, I would love to see you build using the new Enthoo Elite. It is big, beautiful, and totally ready to customize. P.S.
Don't even
You
know
have
what
been
it
my
is.
greatest inspiration for PC building and liquid cooling so far. Thanks for doing what you do. Man, I have... So, I've been in talks with Fantex for a long time. I've done some Fantex stuff. I got to see it at CES, the Elite. It's almost too big, if you will. I kind of want to go with some sort of an elegant mid-tower with a lot of water cooling stuff crammed into it. Rather than having, like Skunkworks, guys, weighs almost 80 pounds. It's like 78 pounds. It's ridiculously heavy. And I kind of don't want to go bigger and heavier. Like the Elite, I believe, is like 38 pounds, 35 pounds empty, something crazy like that. Way too heavy. Giovanni, wait, make sure. Okay. Giovanni Gamara says, Tech Talk with a side of physics homework. Can't get any more nerdier.
No, Common Core. Not
Common
physics.
Core. No, yeah, Common Physics Core.
Common Physics Core.
Anyway, love your content, Jay. Your passion and drive shows in every video, and it's contagious. Good. I love to motivate people to work harder. Love you guys, and wish all continued success. Tech Talk with... Oh, it doubled itself. Thank you, sir. Stumped PCs. Well, that sounds like one that's having a hard time getting through a problem, I guess. Anyways, always enjoyed the channel. Just out of the military. Thank you for your service, sir. And have been inspired to do a tech channel as well. Do you have advice to give, and any information is helpful? Man, there is so much luck required in getting a channel up and running these days. It's not even funny. I really have no advice.
Even in my case, too, it was a lot of luck. It really is, guys. You have to realize, if you go back and look at all the data, if I hadn't have created that room tour that launched with that 3 million view room tour or whatever to launch my channel, I'd probably still be under 100,000 people today. I mean,
when you get lucky like that and you get a viral video, it kind of bumps you into the algorithm a little bit, which helps everything. But the only advice I have, and same thing with like my driving instructor, Stephen Doherty, he's starting a YouTube channel, and he's a little discouraged. He's like, I kind of wish I'd get more views, but it's like, look, when you're starting out, man, you've got to put in time, lots and lots of time with no return in efforts that everything you're doing today will create a bigger web of views that lead back to you. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what Boogie taught me when I first started YouTube. I became friends with Boogie when I had 1,000 subs. He was having some computer problems. I reached out to him on Twitter. He followed me. We became friends. I've hung out with the guy in person now. He and I are like confidants with each other, especially about the weight loss stuff. So he's a personal friend of mine. And I asked him once when I had like 1,500 subs. I said, how the hell do I grow my channel? And he gave me this analogy. He's like, look, it's raining outside, and all you've got to catch water is a thimble. And the water you're catching in this thimble represents the subscribers you're getting on your channel, right? You feel like you can't catch water because there's guys out there like PewDiePie that have freaking swimming pools that are catching water.
Yep.
So what you do is you keep making videos. And every time you make a video, you're putting a thimble out, and it's catching water, and it's catching water. And finally, you just start having all these thimbles everywhere catching water, so much water, you start gaining buckets. And then you just keep putting out buckets and buckets, and it just keeps growing like that. And then eventually, they all start to touch and connect, and those buckets or those thimbles, they lead back to you. And that's the analogy I use when I'm putting out a video. It's like this video right here, this video over time might net me 2,000 subscribers over the life of this video remaining in the search rankings, right? And I kind of look at it that way. Like every time I do something, it might gain me a couple. It also might lose me some as well. Everything I do loses me subscribers. Have you ever watched a video and been like, have you ever seen your sub box and someone popped up in there and you're like, oh yeah, I don't really watch that channel anymore. And then you unsub it. Every time you put out a video, you get unsubs as much as you get subs. So anyway,
and like me, 20,000 subs in a month, and sometimes like 8,000 unsubscribes.
Let's
so
look
it's like
at this.
8,000. Yeah, 8,000 people went away.
I'm gonna look at this analytic real quick because I'm so close to 1 million, right? And it seems like it's taken forever to get to that number. Let's see how many subscribers have actually clicked subscribe since I started my channel. That number is much higher than 928,000. Analytics, this is always kind of a fun one to look up. A little depressing, too, if you see how many people have actually unsubbed you. But it doesn't surprise me either, because quite honestly, like I said, I'm a bit abrasive. I've never hidden that. And what's funny, when people try to insult me by telling me I'm a jerk, it's not insulting me because I know I'm a jerk, and I do the best I can to just be an honest jerk.
Yep.
If that makes sense. It
does,
let's
actually.
see. Subscribers, where'd that go? All right. How many subscribers have I had in my lifetime? Let's see. Are you ready?
Go for it.
1,131,223 people have hit subscribe on this channel since I started it. 208,480 have unsubbed since I've started this channel. So I've already gained over 1.1 million subscribers, but unfortunately I've lost like 18% of them.
You want to hear mine? Same statistic?
Go ahead.
So right now I'm at 841,088 subscribers. My subscribers gained 1,122,536. Subscribers lost 281,448.
So you and I were on the same trajectory. You just lost
Yep.
more than I did.
I just lost more than you did. And that makes perfect sense because of where I was at. I was gone for so long. I came back, started posting videos, and when I left, it was really on a bad video, which you don't ever want to do, guys, by the way. Make sure you leave on a good video, not on a bad video. Because if you leave on a bad video, then the second you come back and the people see that that's the next video in your queue, they're just like, bye.
IRTS10 says, since we're on Drama Train, what do you think about Shay Carl's cam girl thing going on?
Shay Carl's got a cam girl thing
Oh,
going on?
man. Okay. I
know Shay Carl. Like, I've met him multiple times.
So do I.
Okay.
Shay Carl was my inspiration behind my weight loss, by the way.
Never met a more energetic guy either. The dude is a Jack Russell fucking Terrier in real life.
Okay,
I swear
so
to God.
this isn't rumor. He put out this message on his own Twitter where he has come clean as being a struggling alcoholic again.
Okay.
And it's also come out that he was sliding into DMs. That's all I'm going to say. So he said he's going to rehab. I have no idea what's going on between him and Colette, which is his wife. He's got, 5 kids?
Yeah.
It's a sad situation. And there's people that are saying he's blaming his affairs on alcoholism. And all I'm going to say about that is that's a big picture of problems there. I don't feel like he's blaming on alcoholism, but then again, he also didn't admit to it. The mistress came forward herself, so I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's just a sad situation because I've known him long enough to know he cares tremendously about his family. But anyone who battles any sort of addiction will know too that addiction tears you away from the things you care about.
I grew up with a lot of alcoholics in my family. When they stopped being alcoholics, it was like meeting a whole new person.
Yeah.
Like alcohol legitimately messes you up. And the other thing too is back to the whole fame thing is it's like even me, I've gone to conventions before, like specifically Emerald City Comic Con and PAX, where I've had uncomfortable encounters and propositions and things like that. Like that I would have never expected. Like the normal people would never have to deal with those situations.
Yeah.
And it's because fame fascinates people. It does. Like I see somebody famous and I want to run up to them and get their autograph, you know? It's a weird situation. Then you have something like Shay Carl stuff, and I'm not justifying. I would never cheat on my wife. I never would. As a matter of fact, I tell her all the bad things that I do because I suck at lying.
So amazing she hasn't left you yet.
Yeah, no, trust me. I have a special kind of woman behind me, like literally. Hopefully
Literally, she's standing right behind him right now with a gun.
With a gun. Yeah, no, you don't mess with her. Trust me. But it does. That's the thing is when you go to those things, and I've had people like I remember. I don't remember if it was this Maker Faire or the year before that I went, and I had Zachariah with me, my friend Jason, and I think it was him that was with me, and a girl walked up to me and she's like, "Oh yeah, hey, we're partying in the hotel tonight or whatever. You should stop. Me and a couple girls are partying in the hotel. You should stop by. They're all big fans of you." And I was just thinking to myself, how could that go? How could that be a good situation to be in?
How about just someone seeing you come out of that room?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And don't get me wrong.
People
Don't get me wrong. I'm a man. I am sexually attracted to women.
Prove it. No, don't prove it. You're on my channel. No, don't prove it.
No. But it's one of those things. It's like temptation is even harder when you have problems with alcohol. You have problems with drugs. You're in that limelight where people, they don't like you because of who you are. They like you because of how famous you are or what you play on the internet.
True.
And it's rough. And that's why I've learned to be a lot more forgiving of people, just in general, doing this whole career and realizing that. And I don't blame those people either, because I used to do the same shit. Like if I'd walk up and see somebody that I saw on the internet or somebody I saw on TV, I'd flip my shit and be like, oh my God, I want to go over there. I want to meet him. I mean, hell, even Philip DeFranco of all people. I got invited to a private party last year, and I felt so weird. I helicoptered over the guy for probably 15 minutes until I could go talk to him without seeming like a creep, like where I could just walk by and be like, hey, what's up? Nothing's going on. And I looked at that after that experience. Awesome guy, by the way. Phil is an amazing guy in person.
Phil, you know him by Phil.
Phil.
Yeah, well, Tara and I are pretty cool too.
Yeah, I know you are. Really cool guy. But after that, I just realized, I was like, did I just do to him what people do to me? And don't get me wrong, I love it when I'm in a public place and people approach me. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't come and approach me. But it was just, I realized in that instance
he might sweat on you.
That I was doing to him what people do to me. Like, it's, and I understand that from his perspective, it's like, I'm just a guy that watches his videos. But from my perspective, it's like, I know you, dude. I know who you are. I've watched what you've done. I know your personality. It's a very awkward situation. And I think
there's celebrities who experience that with other celebrities, you know?
Yeah, and if you have problems with drugs and alcohol, that just, it mounts, right? It adds up. And so my way to stay out of those situations is whenever I go to, like, conventions and stuff, I always have a co-pilot. I always bring somebody with me that I know will keep me grounded. And it's not to say that I think that I'm a bad person, that I would slip. It's just I wouldn't want to be in that situation in the first place. So I prevent that by always having a wingman.
Let's just say I'm glad I had Nick with me at CES, because there were some times where it was getting very awkward and uncomfortable, because some of these marketing... I don't even want to get into it. So anyway, moving forward here.
Hey, Jay, you want to review my graphics card? Jay, you want to review it?
So there's a lot of anonymous donations here. There's even a $200 anonymous donation. Whoever you are, thank you. You probably just bought me a couch for the series.
I haven't even. Hold on, I gotta open mine back up.
Daniel Baza says, thank you very much for the great and informative content. You inspired me to upgrade my machine. What would be, in your opinion, the most balanced X99 board right now? I'm running a 6850K, 32 gigs Corsair RAM on a Gigabyte X99 Ultra Gaming. Thanks.
I'm going to say a 7420 Big Edition XL is probably the one I would go with.
That's the one I'd go with. No, it really depends on your price point. I'm wearing an EVGA shirt because it's a shirt, right? But seriously, I don't shill for EVGA. I just really like their motherboards. I like their motherboards a lot. I've been running one for several years now. Since 2014, I've been running one full time, and I've just not had any problems with it. I've had some problems with MSI. I've had some problems with Gigabyte. I never got a chance to really use Asus. I do have their Z270 board. You guys saw it, the Maximus Formula 9 that I'm going to be playing with. I'm putting an Asus board, which I'm hoping is going to be very solid in Terry Cruz's build. But literally, if you just want a board that's got no extra frills on there that you don't need, just a good solid board, I don't feel like you can go wrong with the For the Win or the Classified. That's where I'm running a For the Win on my test bench. I can literally get motherboards from any company that I want, and I just consistently go back to them because they're rock solid. If you want to call me a shill or a sellout, so be it. I'm not paid to say that, but I just feel that way. That's the way
I have no affiliation with EVGA. You know I don't, because I don't like have any. Puget Systems builds all my stuff, but no, the EVGA stuff I've been really happy with.
I'll be the first person to tell you. 3 years ago, like when you were coming off the Z77 stuff from EVGA, I would have been like, stay far away from EVGA motherboards, as far away as you can get. It wasn't until they came out with the Z97 stuff that I gave them another chance, and I'm glad that they did, because they completely revamped their entire motherboard, like, engineering department, and basically got rid of the trash, brought in new talent, and this is what you see today. So they listened on that one.
I used to be a diehard Asus fan too, but they just became really hit and miss. Don't get me wrong, they still made some amazing stuff, but it was just way too much hit and miss.
And very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Asus motherboards are very expensive. They got a lot of extra bells and whistles, though.
I don't care about the money, Jay. We're YouTubers. We don't pay for things.
No, but and seriously though, I'm doing Asus reviews now again. I say again for the first time since I started my channel. They finally are like, hey, we want to work with you, so that should be good. But yeah, so I just answered that one there. I think I'm getting towards the top here, Jerry, and then you can do yours.
Okay, cool.
We're going a little longer tonight, guys, just to make sure we can get all these donations in. And since we're ending or hiatusing the show for a while with an
not on this episode, though, if you're just joining us.
Not on this show. It's going to be like in the beginning of March, but with an indefinite release date. Don't know if it's coming back. We'll see. Another donation, 20. Whoa. Anonymous 20. Okay. Make sure this one says don't.
Oh, wait. All the donations that come to me directly are going to support me during my time where I don't have Tech Talk to keep my bills paid. Just letting you guys know that.
I know you lived on this show. Shazbat.
I'm okay.
Yep. Shazbat says, Jay, you did a video where you said you would never use pastel again. Looks to me that the current Skunkworks has pastel green. Can you tell me where you stand?
You fucking liar.
I was careful not to use pastel in my current build, but I really want white pastel. Thank you.
What? I'm sorry. Hold on. I gotta say one thing here. What is with everybody pulling the hole? You said you'd never. Like,
Here's the
guys,
problem.
everybody says that shit. It's like,
No.
this is what I hate about videos.
It's
Go
fair.
ahead.
If that's the video they saw, but they didn't follow,
Yeah.
they didn't watch any of the subsequent videos, then that would be the only thing they have to go by. I said that in that video. Then there was a whole bunch of drama where the company called me out saying I didn't know anything about water cooling, and then I was like,
That was fun to watch, by the way.
that's not cool. You guys are very mean, and you hurt my feelings, and I want you to publicly apologize. So I went all snowflake on that one. But anyway, then they acknowledged that there was a problem, and they re-engineered it.
They
But
did.
the problem stemmed from the red-based dyes. And I have to say this like every week. I swear someone asks this question every week, don't they? Especially since like if you turn around behind you, there's builds showing the mayhems going on like as we speak.
Oh, wow.
So anyway,
Good timing.
the red dye was interfering with various types of copper in the loops, okay? And the copper grade changes from radiator to radiator. You can have 10 radiators from the same manufacturer and have slightly different variations of different like alloys that are in the copper. The copper's not pure 100% copper. It never will be. It's got other minerals and things in it. So the red dye was responding weird to that. And you find red in the orange dyes, the red dyes, the purple dyes, the yellow dyes. So that's why they were all changing color like that so poorly. The dyes that are blue, the dyes that are the green, those shades that don't have red in them, you know I can see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm picking your nose with a bat knife.
The shades that don't have red, like the blue and the green and the white, those usually hold up just fine. I have had the green going now in Skunkworks for a while, no problem. I've had the blue going in the Nano S build that I did for the Fractal build with the glass tubes now for going on, 10 months? No issues whatsoever. So I still haven't tried any of their new red. I probably should just to do a test, but that's where I stand on that. But I've covered all of this in subsequent videos since the one where I said I wouldn't use it anymore. It just means that you missed those videos. G-Rob says, Jay and Jerry, love you guys. Any suggestions on a comfy office gaming chair for a 5'11", 230-pound guy that has a herniated disc in lower back?
That's kind of where my old ballpark was, and I do have the herniated disc in the lower back. I mean, I like the King Series DX Racer. You just got to fix the clicky issue that happens after a year. The only thing I do wish this chair had on it was I like the bolsters, but the flat bottom was cool at first. I kind of wish the bottom had more bolstering.
Yeah,
so I'd get one of the actual lower end versions that has the bolster and doesn't have like the large flat seat for like a really big guy. But yeah, no, I like those. But if money's no object, oh my God, go try a Herman Miller. I'm seriously this close to just going and dropping the money on one of those because every time I sit in one, I'm just like, there's no sweating. It perfectly supports you everywhere.
I'm not
it's awesome.
going race car chair in the studio. I'm done with race car chairs.
I kind of am too. I like the look of them, and I do like this. I like the recline.
I never recline
with 50-inch screens.
I never recline. So
hold on, you got to do the whole South Park thing though, dude. Like
yeah, I know,
go,
but I don't sit that way. You know why I don't sit that way? Because I'm spending so much effort and time to fix my back. I don't want to sit like that and screw it up again.
No, it's true. Posture is important when you're doing this stuff all the time. So I would say if money's no object, Herman Miller. If you're looking for something good, check out the DX Racer. If you're in a cooler room, like where you keep the temperature down around like 68 or lower, the GT Omegas are cheaper and they're just as good. They just don't breathe as well. The fabric doesn't breathe as well. So
yeah, some folks think that a $300 or $400 office chair is really expensive, but it's not if you compare it to the true like office grade stuff that's sold at like corporate level. Yeah, they're not. They $1,500 easy for a chair.
Yeah, I looked up the chairs that were at Microsoft in the conference room, and they were very conservative looking chairs with no adjustable backs. They just up and down, but they had the lumbar support built into them and the mesh backs.
Yeah,
and they were $800 a pop because I wanted to buy one for my house, and I was like, $800 for a freaking office chair, but they last forever. The pistons in them are like super industrial.
Arctic Zap says, since you were talking about EVGA motherboards, do you think EVGA will ever build an AMD AM4 motherboard, or is EVGA anti-AMD? EVGA does not do AMD stuff. They don't do AMD GPUs. They don't do AMD motherboards. I would expect to probably only see Intel and NVIDIA stuff. Lucky Dog says, time to upgrade from a Z77 Extreme 4 i5 3570 and DDR3 RAM. Or wait, it's primarily for gaming, but might start streaming. Time to upgrade from... Oh, wait. So he didn't ask a question. He just made a statement. Oh, no, he's asking me, or should he wait? Look, if it's no longer doing what you need it to do in the time you need it to do it, it's time to upgrade. That's the way I look at it. Any
Yep.
CPU can do any task you ask of it. It's just how long is it going to take to
How
do it?
long is it going to take? Yep.
DJ Lone Star. With all the new hard drive tech coming out, I need a small SSD for my server. Should I suck it up and upgrade my main rig drive and use use the old SSD for the server, or just get my small SSD soon and wait for new tech prices to drop to upgrade the main rig? That's always a gamble if you're just going to wait for prices to drop. They may not drop. NAND technology, which is what's found in SSDs,
Right around
is
the
like
corner.
it's like gold. It's always
Yeah.
going up and down in price.
Yep. No, but then the next generation's just around the corner. Is it Intel? It's dropping. What is it? The 7 GB a second or whatever
Optane.
bus? What is it? Optane?
Optane memory, yeah.
So yeah, no. Once that drops, you're gonna see like SSDs are already cheap. If you're worried if money is a concern here, wait, because SSDs are gonna drop like a rock.
Yeah.
When that technology hits, because it's a consumer-based technology, it's not going to be like, oh, these are $10,000 drives. They're going to come out in these super fast drives that are 3-4 times faster than existing technology, are probably going to cost a little bit more than what the high-end drives are now, and that's going to drive everything else down.
I missed a couple here. Kyle Buchanan says, hey, Jay, would you recommend 2 pumps of my loop? 2 CPU, 2 GPU, 480, and a 360 rad?
I recommend 2 pumps of your loop.
I don't think you have enough resistance there to actually need 2 pumps. It depends on the pump. If you got like a D5, then you're fine. If you had DDC, maybe 2.
Oh, I just got messaged by Eric. He said he's had a Herman Miller Mira for 6 years, and it shows no signs of wear. I believe it. Those things are just beasts. I just can't drop the money.
Wow, I missed a few here. Okay, so I apologize, guys.
God, how many donations did you get? Jeez.
A lot came in, and there's
See,
lots.
everybody loves you.
There's
Everybody
lots
loves
and
Jay.
lots of anonymous ones with no comments. Let's see.
Don't worry, guys. I will be reading your donations. I got like I think 15 of them or so here. I'll go through them when Jay's done.
I think I'm almost done. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any here.
And I
know
don't
there
care
was-
if I go. I don't care if I go late, Jay, because I can sleep on the trip down. I got a driver tomorrow.
I know
so.
that there was one that they were like, "Don't say my name," but I don't see it now.
Well,
So I just wanted, they told me to warn you not to say their names because they donated to you too. They said it would be obvious.
okay.
So I don't know. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any, and then we can move forward here. Hobbs is saying I missed 2 of them. Let me look at my doc.
Wait, I thought Hobbs was gone.
I guess he got there. Okay.
Hobbs.
Scott McCable says your knowledge of product and excellence in communication. This has helped me renew my past enthusiasm for PC building, gaming, and modding. Lifetime follower. Thank you, sir. It did that double commenting thing again. Okay, we found the redacted one here. Please tell Jerry not to read my name. He will recognize it when he sees it. Also give Nick half this money, boss man. Hey, Nick is paid. Nick, I handle Nick. I handle the Nick.
You handled the
Okay,
Nick.
all the money goes into the business. Because remember, guys, these donations don't actually go straight to me now. They go to the business, and then I pay myself. It's weird. Really weird dynamic. My first payday's tomorrow. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, no. That's what I'm trying to do the same thing now because the sole proprietorship stuff is a pain in the ass. Trust me, guys.
Yeah, and then, let's see. I think there was one more I missed down here, maybe. No, maybe not. Okay, take it away, dude.
I can take it away. All right, starting down here.
Thank you to all of you, by the way.
First, yeah, you guys are awesome. Honestly, like this all helps.
Way more support than we deserve.
Let's see, we got a $30 from Mr. Gil W. Said, hey guys, first time watching from Toronto, Canada. So we know the following is going to be nice. Just wanted to say thanks for putting in your time to make these videos. My question is, what kind of specs would you suggest for a streaming server? Right now I'm running a 4790K with a 970, and it got truncated.
Oh,
After
I did
sorry about that.
I did miss one, by the way.
Yeah, so Gil, as far as this one thing I hear a lot of people talk about is the live streaming is you don't need a ton of power. You don't, unless you're trying to live stream in like 4K with like an abundance of bandwidth, you can actually get away with a pretty low level system. I mean, like a Core i5 system without even that fantastic of a GPU will encode video just fine at 1080p for live streaming. What's your take on this, Jay?
I'm sorry, I was reading the conversation in chat.
So he said, what kind of specs would you suggest for a streaming server?
Streaming server?
Yeah, like, you know, people that like to have a secondary computer so they're not having any frame drop streaming on their primary.
You know what's more important about that is the connection between the gaming computer and the streaming computer. So, I mean, you're going to end up having to go with some sort of a capture card, which is going to take on a lot of this processing anyway.
Yeah,
So
it does.
You aren't going to need a huge amount of power if you're going to do that.
Yeah, to give you an idea, I had an IBM ThinkPad, like back when I was working at Microsoft, I had an IBM ThinkPad that had a really crappy processor in it, and it had almost no GPU in it, and with a USB capture card plugged into the side of it, I was able to stream PlayStation and Xbox at the native 1080p resolution, no problem. I didn't have any problems. That was even mixing in the audio source in the video. Now, if you want to do crazy compositing, like you want to composite like your face over a green screen with chroma key and all that stuff, then you probably want to start thinking about building a better system. But for streaming games, hell, I mean, your Xbox streams, so that should give you an indicator of how little power it really needs.
Let me get this one I missed.
Yep, go ahead.
This is from Thundermax. He says, "Hey Jay, first, I love the case you chose for the Terry Crews build. However, I noticed a lot of people complaining about sponsorship and people getting free stuff. So here's $30 just to piss off the haters." P.S. Good luck on the new studio.
Hey guys,
I made a comment. I made a pinned comment at the top of that video about my stance on that. Look, the guy has donated and raised millions and millions of dollars for a bunch of different charities.
Yep.
Mostly kids, a lot of sports camps, inner city youth type stuff. I can't believe so many people are so freaking jealous about me setting up sponsorship for him. I set it up, not him. I told him not to pay me a dime. And if he does try and throw money at me, because he seems like the kind of guy that's going to be like, no, you're going to take this money and you're going to like it, right? I don't anticipate him being like, oh, thanks, it's free, bye, see ya. Anything he tries to give me, I'm going to ask that he donate in my company's name to a charity. I'm not taking any cash for this build, period. I won't allow myself to take any money for this build. This was something I'm doing for him because I have utmost respect for a guy like him and the amount that he leverages his popularity to do good for people. There's no reason why anyone should be getting their nose at a joint because I decided to do something for him. Those people that are like, I wish I was getting blah, 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 or that's not fair, or the rich, blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's a shitty attitude, and you should be ashamed of yourself for even thinking that way. And that's the way I feel about it. It's the way I'm always going to feel about it. And you're never going to change my mind. There's nothing you can tell me that makes me feel like Terry should be paying for this when it's my gift to him because he makes a lot of money. That's like you saying, I'm not buying a Christmas present for you. You make more money than me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's the stupidest way to think about things.
No, one thing I'll tell you is if you ever want to do like YouTube or online media or actually anything, it applies to anything where you're in front of a camera and you have any kind of infamy or fame or anything like that. Just know that there's going to be a lot of people that are just jealous. They're not attacking you because they hate you as a person. You're just going to have a lot of people that are just upset that they don't have what you did, or maybe they tried it and it failed, or they didn't even try it and just anticipated they failed, or they think you didn't do enough to actually deserve it. That's going to happen no matter what you do, no matter how much you donate, no matter what. And I let a lot of that stuff get to me, and it just led me to a dark place. And you have to just let it go. You have to just do this. I mean, Jay entertains a lot of people, educates a lot of people, does a lot of really cool things. Terry Crews, work with him. He sees that he's a professional in his space. Obviously, Terry wouldn't have you building a computer, even if it was pro bono. I mean, the dude's such a high A-list celebrity. He could have anybody build his computer.
Can I read you a text he wrote me the other day?
Yeah, please do.
He saw the video, which I was kind of sad about because I thought he was so busy, there's no way he'd be watching a YouTube video, but he saw it pop up on his Twitter and he immediately clicked it.
Yep.
He tweets me and he goes, "The build is looking incredible," with a shit ton of exclamation points. Oh, and by the way, he sent me that picture right there. That's a selfie he sent me from the Brooklyn Nine-Nine set because I asked him to send me a selfie that I could use in the thumbnail.
I am so jealous.
So yeah, he sent me that selfie right there from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He goes, "The build is looking incredible." I was like, "Oh, surprise ruined. LOL. Wait for the theme to come together. What do you think about that glass?" He goes, "Sick, sick, sick." I said, "I think it will complement your office." He goes, "If it had wheels, I'd drive it." I said, future build idea. He goes, "This is going to be so much fun." He goes, "Unreal, incredible detail. It's like my soul is in it." He goes, "Dude, you were born for this. Thank you so much. I'm going to promote the hell out of this." And I said,
he is such a cool guy.
I said, "No obligation, man. Just a gesture from me to someone who's made such a good impact in this world." So
dude, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to see the way it actually like comes together at the end.
That is the one thing I am so jealous of. Like, of all the people that you can interact with, like Terry is like my favorite actor. Like, Idiocracy is my favorite movie. He's my favorite character in that movie. Enough said, right? And so when I first heard that you were working with, well, you know, I fangirled the hell a lot over this whole thing.
You know,
I'm sure you've even told him that you're like,
Romeo from GeForce Garage, who's actually going to be doing the glass panel mods, or these handling all of like the work on that, is going to be at PDX Land. So you could actually talk to him about it while you're down there.
Oh, that's awesome.
One of the NVIDIA guys? Yeah, he's going to be there.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome.
Okay, that was my last one. Sorry.
All right, so going through, let's see. We have Michael C. here says, "Would you ever be interested in taking a tour of a military base or doing things involving military members?" Actually, yeah. I toured a military base, Puget Sound Naval Shipyard and Bangor back when I was a kid and got to see a nuclear sub and some F-14s and some other stuff. It was a lot of fun. I actually liked it. So, yeah, no, that's something that would actually interest me if the right opportunities in the right place and the right people and everything kind of popped up. Let's see, make sure this isn't the person I'm supposed to read his name. Let's see. Okay, so Russell W said, "Hey guys, love Tech Talk. It's awesome to watch." That's a $50 donation too. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm one of the truckers out there that listens to the show while trucking down the road. Finally, I got a chance to actually watch live. Awesome. Thank you for all you do and keep it up. Sorry, grammar's bad, long day. Trust me, my grammar sucks all the time. You know what? I'm going to tell everybody, I'm not affiliated with Grammarly, but I want to tell you there's a plugin called Grammarly that I've used for about 2 months now. I quite like it. I've tried to get a hold of the company because what I generally do at my sponsorships is I find something that I really like, and then I see if the company would be interested in getting involved, because that way I know it's something I already stand behind and I quite like. Same thing with Dexter Arm. You know, I saw it 2 years ago and I've seen the progression of it. I've watched it and I was like, holy crap, it's the level I want to get involved. So I like doing that. I cannot get a hold of these people. No matter what. They're like impossible to get a hold of, but their plugin is badass. It's called Grammarly. Check it out. Let's see. We have, let's see. Alexander R says, "Love you folks, and yes to making Jay the cameraman and Nick to the host of all the videos." we knew one of those was gonna happen, right? We absolutely knew that was gonna happen. Hold on, moving through.
I'm not paying him to be in front of the camera. No, seriously. I like getting him on camera because it's so awkward for him. He like doesn't know how to react, and I think people like that.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like I love hanging out with him because the whole Valley Girl accent. I love it. It just suits him so well. Like when he just starts talking about something, it's like, "Hey Jay," it's like, I love it. I absolutely love it. He needs to do that in front of camera like constantly. Let's see. No need to say my name. Okay. Hey Jerry, love watching you and Jay today. I had an idea for a collaboration for you and the team of Tested. I would love to collaborate with Tested if they were interested. I was thinking if they could have you on in April during Autism Awareness Month to do a week of builds with them, and when it's over, auction off what was made and donate the money made to the autism charity, and maybe get Xander in one of the days because he's a great little guy. I would love to. If Tested would be interested in doing something like that. I love Tested. I love Mythbusters. I love Adam Savage. I love Simone. I love everybody. I love Norm. I even love Will. They're all great people. So, but again, they're all busy and they have people lining up the block to do stuff with them. So that would have to be something that they would have to approach me on. Let's see, moving through. A lot of really cool small donations. Thanks, guys. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. So, Conrad. Oh, he's here just about every week. What's up, guys? I have a quick question. My hard drive's been acting up. Long story short, in order for the second hard drive to appear in Task Manager, I have to reset the computer multiple times in order for it to appear. I ran disk error. It fixed the errors. Does this mean it's dying? At one point, it didn't appear in the BIOS. Keep the videos. Yes, it is dying. That drive is dying very fast, and you need to get your data off of it now. As soon as a drive starts to develop bad sectors, and it stops showing up, that's usually a fair sign that the bearing's wearing out and it can't achieve RPM to be detectable. Trust me, I've had so many hard drives die like this. What's up?
I'm only laughing because someone asked me in chat, "Hey Jay, how do you light your B-roll shots?" I said with lights. It sounds like something I would say. Right?
It is. Let's see here. Gregory R said, "Money isn't really an issue. Which of the Herman Millers would you suggest?" I actually haven't kept up on the names of I'll message you after Tech Talk. Let me put a little notification.
So you have the ability to be like, "Oh, I'll message you after." I can't do that with these.
Yeah, I know. That's why I prefer this method. And I'm actually gonna start working on a Patreon too once I start getting everything all sorted out in my schedule. And I've already pushed a ton of stuff off onto other entities and forming my business and everything. So I don't, because a lot of the stress comes from that. Jay can attest to that you need the right people in the right places to make stuff work and to enable you to stay on a schedule. But anyways, as far as the Herman Miller chairs, oh my God, the one I think it's called the Zero. Is it the Zero G? It's got a lumbar support. It's actually got a really long back on it, and it's got a separate headrest, and everything is infinitely adjustable. They're freaking fantastic. I'm gonna go get a Herman Miller. Screw it. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Let's see here. Going up here, we got Jesse H said, "Thanks for the info. Just showing you some love too, DJ Lone Star." Well, thank you, DJ Lone Star. Let's see here. Whoa. John C donated $20, and his message is, "The Dolphins of the Catacombs have fallen." What does that mean?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Gil W. Again, I believe. Yep, he said, "Hey guys, first time watching for..." Why did it send it to me twice? That's weird. I got the message from him twice, the exact same message in 2 different emails. Got a $50 donation, no question, but thank you. We'll just call him RM. Thank you, RM. Notification received. Why? Oh, it's weird. PayPal's looping back and sending me the same things over and over and over again. Oh, I think I broke PayPal. All right, so I think that was the end of everything that I had in there that met the mark, and I will try to reply to you about the Herman Miller because, God, they're phenomenal chairs.
Well, then talk about the Herman Miller because I'm honestly I've never sat in one.
Well, here, let me go pull up their site here. I want to see if they still sell the old one. I think they do because it's literally been around forever. Yeah, here it is. It's the Aeron. So AERON, and they've had this chair forever. And except for they call it the remastered now, so it looks like they modified it. Here, I want to see, like, do I even have a Herman dealership in Seattle? Oh yeah, in Seattle. There's one right there. So yeah, the Aeron, I think it is, or the Aeron, AERON. Go check it out. They're freaking comfortable. Like they don't look like much. Don't think you're gonna like look at it and be like, oh my god, this is like space age chair, like some of those crazy office chairs you see in movies. It just looks like a mesh chair with a lot of little different parts going on it, and you can adjust absolutely everything, so it fits your width perfectly. The bolster's just right.
How wide do they go?
They go pretty wide. Like, you can get them in different sizes. There's a small, a medium, and a large, and then in addition to all those sizes of the physical chair, there's a bunch of internal adjustments. You can, like, bring, like, the bottom of the chair, I believe, has a thing that you can bring up and down to give you some support on your legs where they hang over the end of the seat. There's a thing on the back where you can actually adjust not only the lumbar support up and down, but the angle of attack that it goes into your back when you lean back on the mesh.
It attacks your backside? That doesn't sound helpful.
It attacks it, dude. It gets all up in that backside. Dude,
sure?
they're freaking awesome. Like, tons of people at Microsoft had them. I never got one because Microsoft wouldn't approve an order of a chair, which I thought was really stupid. They'd let you buy a $10,000 developer workstation for your developer, and they'd let you get a $2,000 sit-stand workstation, but they wouldn't give you anything but the one cookie-cutter chair that they had, which was a decent chair, but it was really hot, and it had a lot of thick padding on it and everything. I would have loved to have a Herman Miller, but a lot of the developers, they'd just go out of pocket and buy one because it was that good of a chair. And I sat in it and I kept wanting to get one over and over again. I never did because I was too much of a cheap ass. Let's see. I think that's all of. Oh wait, no, I got another one here. Hold on, 1 second. Michael C said, "Would you?" No, it did it again. Michael C, I hope you're not like donating the same thing over and over and over again, because you might want to check on that, because I keep getting the same message from you. Yep, the trucker. Okay, here. Oh, sorry. Okay, I found some of the missing ones. PayPal's doing some weird stuff. I apologize, guys, if I missed one of your thing. Let's see. Okay, I found the person that said, "Do not say my name." It said, "Please, do you still have your Nerd Arcade Block or Horror Block subscription, or did you cancel it? If you did cancel, can you make more unboxing videos? They are very entertaining." Actually, I haven't canceled my subscription. I still get those, and I give them to Xander now. A lot of people want me to bring that back, so I might actually do that, because I enjoy doing those videos because they're so simple. They don't take a lot of thought, and you get a cool surprise. So yes, I may be bringing those videos back at some point. But right now, I'm highly focused on the robotic arm. I want to get heavily back into the 3D printing. I've got quite a few cool hardware stuff, because a lot of people want me to do hardware reviews, like the headphones, the video capture devices, and stuff like that. I want to get back into a lot of that. And of course, I have a finite amount of time. But my goal is I want to release 3 videos a week on a schedule. So that's what I'm working towards right now. But I will keep you all apprised on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. That is the social network I am most active on. What's up, Jay?
What are you doing?
He's
active on.
Shut up. Shut up. I still I post to Instagram too, and then I cross post to Twitter, so that counts.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Jay, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you doing something over
I'm not
there?
doing anything.
Are you touching yourself? What are you doing?
No, you can't see down there. Both hands are up here on the table. See?
I can't see anything.
I'm touching myself with my foot.
Yeah. So
I like to foot myself.
So actually, hey, why don't we just here? We're near the end of the show. We're just kind of hanging out. Why don't you guys ask some questions over on Twitter? On Twitter.
Why don't you just ask them in the chat?
Hashtag, because it flies by so damn fast. Just do Ask Tech Talk on Twitter. So use hashtag Ask Tech Talk on Twitter, and we might answer your question live right here on the show. No donation necessary.
We should do. Never mind. It's a bad idea.
Wyatt said, "What do you think of the G-Max 3D printers? Do you think it's a good product?" Yes, the G-Max printers are cool. They take up a lot of space on your desk, but my Budacles was printed on a G-Max, and it came out fantastic. So I would say it's a good printer. Also, check out 3D Printing Nerd, Joel Telling, over on Twitter. He has experience with like every 3D printer on Earth, and he actually quite likes those printers. Let's see here.
Guys, the audio isn't synced because Skype like hiccuped itself and now it's out of sync with Discord. I get audio from Discord and video from Skype. Deal with it. One of the reasons why I told you I'm sick of this show.
All right, let's see. Okay, latest. Here we go. So we have Stephen Webb said, I managed to get an answer on screen. Jay, that was what I was expecting. Direct, loved the show. That's not really an Ask Tech Talk
Wait, what?
question.
What did it say?
It just said, I managed to get an answer on screen.
Who is it?
From Stephen Webb.
Oh, he was the one who asked me what I used to light my B-roll with, and I said lights.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so there. It was just funny because he did that. And he put Ask Tech Talk on it like it was a question.
Remember how you were like, dude, you found a way to just be complete jerk, and people were like, oh my god, he talked to me. Like I never did that on purpose, but like I was I was just teasing the guy, but people would be like, yeah, you're such an asshole, and he was like,
No,
oh my god.
I had a guy once a long time ago on a video, and you guys, if you want to go try to repeat this, my new policy is I just ban everybody, so don't do it if you think you're being funny. But I had a guy in a comment on the YouTube video, he just said, God, you're a fat, disgusting fuck, and I replied back to him, and I said, and I just grilled him. I just said, why would you even come watch my shit? You can clearly see in the thumbnail I'm overweight, whatever. And he replies back and he goes, I'm fangirling so hard right now. I've sent you like 2 emails and you haven't responded to them, and I thought that this would be a good way. Please don't hate me. I just wanted to get a reply from you. I was like,
that's weird.
I was like, what the? And that's not the first time that's happened. Oh, it's just so weird. Don't do that. Even if you're a 12-year-old kid and you somehow think that's a good idea, it's not. Just trust me, okay? Please do not do that. John said this hashtag took such a huge hit when Jerry and Jay started answering only donation questions. Now it's completely dead. 53 minutes ago. It's not completely dead. We're doing it right now.
The hashtag did kind of die.
It did. We're bringing it back for the last couple of shows.
Are we?
Guys, you have to, well, I don't know. At the end of the show, if we have time, that's what we're doing right now. It's very improv-ish. But guys, the reason, for you that don't know, the reason that we had to go with the donation system was because all the previous shows were just reading comments. And even reading all comments the entire show, we couldn't get to the end because everybody was donating $1 and asking like a page comment of like how to build a system or check my PC parts picker list. We couldn't do that. So we had to find a number.
I could retire. If I started up a business model that said, I will respond to your PC part picker list or make you a PC part picker list for $5, I could retire on that. You know how many people would actually do that? Would actually be like, I'll pay you $5 to give me a part picker list. There's almost 1 million people following me. Imagine if like 10,000 of them,
Dude, you should do that. Hire. No. That's what you should do when Nick's not doing anything else. Make Nick do that.
Oh, God. So it seems like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about? I think you should get one of them new AM4 CPUs and put an X99 5960X in there with 2 sticks of DDR3 and 1 of DDR4.
It's like, you should get that Volkswagen case. It leaks a little fluid every once in a while, but damn, it's fast.
But your computer might leak a little oil.
Whoa. This is the most Ask Tech Talks I've ever seen ever in the history of Tech Talk. Here, we'll just go through a couple of them, okay? So Pickles Nick said, where's the file of Jerry replacing system sounds? Oh, God, I keep forgetting about that. I am so sorry, guys. Yes, why didn't I do that in front of the green screen yesterday when I was up at Epic Exposure? Damn it! No, I'm doing a sound pack. I'm going to do a sound pack. Actually, here, I'm going to take it out right now.
The audio is now like 1.5 seconds off.
Sound pack. All right, well, we're near the end of the show, so it's okay. Yeah, no, I'm going to do the sound pack. I really want to do that for you guys. And actually, I'm a lot happier these days, so that sound pack's going to be a lot better. It'll be
Matt D, I can retire on $50,000 if I invest it properly. I can retire in 10 years.
That's true.
Okay, so what if I charged $10 if I made you a PC part picker list? No, I'm serious, man. With the amount of emails I get and tweets and everything, we're like, hey, look at my PC part picker list, which I don't respond to anymore, those particular emails. I'm telling you right now that the amount of people that even write me and say, I will pay you. One guy literally was like, I'll pay you $500 if you just answer me and help me pick all the parts for my system. I want to build like a $10,000 PC. And again, it's like, I apologize, but I just, my model here is not to pick the parts for you. It's to do the videos to help educate you to pick your own parts. And I walk away from that money. There's a whole business model here that, okay, I'm giving people ideas now.
I could have made $1 bajillion off just 3D printing stuff because I have people contact me all the time. It's like, hey, will you 3D print my model? I'll pay you. And one guy was like, wanted to pay me $500 to print something that was like not even that large. It was on an Ultimate because he wanted me to sign it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't have the time. I referred him to Shapeways, and he's like, I don't need Shapeways. I wanted you to print it.
So the straw poll though about letting Nick do gaming coverage on the channel, like let that be his thing. 92% yes.
I totally could have saw that coming. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised it's not higher. I'm guessing the other people just wanted to be different.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So Mark Wolf said, what was your guys' favorite job before YouTube? Jay? What's your favorite job before YouTube? Out of all the jobs that you ever had, what was like your pay aside or whatever? Just like what was your favorite job that you enjoyed doing?
Pedo bear. No, I don't know. Probably. I really liked my IT job, but
didn't you do like some stuff in the film industry or whatever? Like
no.
No, you didn't. Oh,
I wanted to. My aspirations was to be a DP. Ladies. No, my aspiration was to be a director of photography in Hollywood. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I wanted to go to film school and all that stuff, and somehow I ended up working for FedEx.
Yeah. So somebody asked what my favorite job was before Microsoft because they thought that I would say Microsoft, and I probably would. I mean, as angry as I am with the whole Microsoft situation, more or less, I just pick on them now because you guys don't want me to, and that's internet culture for you. Like you don't do what people tell you not to because then whatever. Anyways, I loved working at Microsoft, but before that, my favorite job I had in my entire life was working at a little mom and pop computer shop called Mothersboard Computers. It had some horrific days that I absolutely hated, but we were like a small knit little family. And one of my best friends worked with me, Jason Lawhead, who passed away a couple of years ago from cancer. But yeah, I had good memories from that because it was just a small computer store, and everything you did every day, there was no corporate influence at all. You wore what you wanted to wear. Every customer you knew, it was like Cheers, right? If somebody walked through the door that you didn't know, you went and hid in the back room. It's like you knew everybody in the small town. I love that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Josh Thompson said, can you get more performance from a slower set of quad channel RAM over faster dual channels? That's a good question. Do you know?
Can you get better performance? Oh, well, only if the task that you're doing can utilize the quad channel.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, it helps with like the amount of software you have running, right?
Yep.
I mean, like, believe it or not, browser tabs in Google, like the more browser tabs you have open, the more it can actually hit your system. So things like that will help. But if we're talking like gaming PCs and stuff, you won't notice much at all.
Yeah. Let's see. SolarN said if you make a trip onto the racetrack and Jay races at if Jay is there, you can and Jay sign my dashboard. I have a 4-rotor RX-7. Sorry, those words. He must have been really dyslexic when he typed that. Hold on. If
either
I make
that
the
or
trip onto the racetrack that Jay races. Okay, so if he goes to the racetrack that you're racing on, can we sign his dashboard? Yeah, I would sign. I sign anything anybody wants me to sign anywhere. I don't care.
It depends on where he lives, though.
Yeah, well, he said he'd come to your racetrack. He's like, if I came to the racetrack that you were
But
at,
I go to more than one track.
That's true. You just got the luck of the draw there. But no,
I mean, the track I went to on Sunday was 139 miles away.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever signed? That's a good question.
A vagina.
You did not.
Oh, you mean on the channel? Okay.
Yes, like what, like going to conventions and stuff or meets or whatever. What is the weirdest thing that you signed?
I can't. Nothing stands out as the weirdest thing. I mean,
I signed a dude's chest.
Okay,
I signed a dude's chest once.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, we've signed a lot of like keyboards and backplates and graphics cards and case panels and things like that.
Yeah.
Mouse pads. I've not signed anyone's body parts.
Yeah, I signed a dude's chest. I think that's probably the weirdest thing. And it was like he like shaved that sucker in anticipation. You could tell that was like ready for some autographs. So I threw that on there. That's probably the weirdest thing I've done. Let's see. There is no Dana, only Zool. Again, not a question.
Only Zool. I am the gatekeeper.
Cody Guntz said, I added you on Strava. Add back?
Oh, so I'm not... Okay. I'm kind of sort of privatizing my Strava now.
You probably should.
Yeah. Sorry.
Slaughterhouse Gamer
said... In fact, I've got a lot of rides up there that I've done that are just private, too, that I haven't put public. So, sorry.
You just start riding and just mob starts forming behind you. Slaughterhouse Gamer said, what steering wheel and shifter would you suggest for a racing sim? I like the Fanatic stuff. Do you like the Fanatic stuff?
Fanatec, actually. But
I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Yeah, they themselves pronounce it Fanatec when I talk to them.
Oh, good. I
really like it, but they've got a weird software glitch where it just kind of randomly just disconnects sometimes when I'm driving, and it's very annoying.
Oh, that's terrible.
But I think that could be the motherboard. I think the video I might do tomorrow is finally rebuilding the simulator rig again and going with like the 7600K probably because I'm tired of fighting issues with that. Where I'll be in the middle of a race and suddenly I'm in VR, right? And suddenly my steering wheel goes dunk dunk and turns off. It's like the equivalent of being in real life and having your steering wheel detached from the hub. And you're just going around track plowing into everyone because you've got no steering suddenly because it happens mid-turn. Everyone in iRacing screaming their head off at you.
And they're filing like reports against you and stuff. And you're like, oh, I swear my USB disconnected. Oh, that's what everybody says. Oh my gosh. No, I could totally see that becoming a huge problem.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, Egg Eater. You said, what was it like going from Jay's quarter pound to Jay's 2 cents? Okay. I guess that's some European humor there.
I mean, I lost weight. It feels good. I can see my junk a little easier. I mean, I don't miss the toilet as often.
I know, right? God, big boy problems, right? Backwoods Badass said, hey, Jerry, do you have any advice for a CNC machine? I really want to find one in the $500 range. $500 is probably a little bit on the low side unless you want to build one yourself, which is totally possible. You can go look online. All you need is 60/40 extrusion, a couple of parts, the spindle motor, a controller board, which is usually an Arduino, and a power supply. And you can probably get all that stuff for under $500 if you want to build one yourself. I would look at some of the inventable stuff. Go check out the Carvey. It's the high end, or the X-Carve. The smaller X-Carves, I think, are around $900. And they're kind of similar to like the old Shipokos. Check them out. They're decent.
David,
you're not going to be cutting huge stuff with it, though.
David in chat says he's had that issue with USB 3.0, but 2.0 helps. If he's using the Fanatec, then I might have to try that. The only problem is the case I'm using, the Fractal Design Node 605, which is the one that kind of looks like a home theater receiver.
Yeah.
It only has USB 3.0 in the front.
You could probably just put a dongle though and route it underneath it, and, like glue it on there or something, so there is a port on the front underneath the lip.
Yeah, I might have to do that. But I guess I could.
I had the same problem with the Logitech webcams. Remember back when I was having all the Logitech webcam issues? I plugged into USB 2 because I have 2 right next to the 3s. Yeah. And that solved the problem. I don't get the deal with
it's
the
almost
USB
like the backwards compatibility isn't working right.
Yeah, like and it seems like a lot of people complain about it, especially like with devices that draw a decent amount of power, which I thought USB 3 was like excelled at. I thought USB 3 was supposed to be a lot more power. I don't know what the deal is with
Maybe it's the power going through it that jacks with it. I don't know.
So if you have a USB 3 problem, try USB 2 and your problem might go away. Unless you're doing stuff with data transfer, in which case you will be mad because your data transfer is going to slow down to a screeching halt. Let's see. Luke Alford said, you love Herman Miller. Try the, what is it, Therapod? Yeah, therapod.com.au. I've got one and love it. Here, I'm going to check this out. So this is supposed to be like... Okay, that's a pretty badass looking chair. I could get behind that.
Jad
it looks like something out of Aliens.
Will you guys ever drive Nizzy and Subi to each other's home or race each other? I would love for Jerry to get his car down here and get it on track. I don't know if that will ever happen, though. That's a hell of a drive.
I think if I was going to do something like that, it would be something that I would plan out, and I'd probably put the thing in a truck and just ship it down there. I don't think I would drive the whole way, because what's that? How many miles is that, like, down to your place? I mean, that's a 2,000-mile drive.
No. It's 1,000 to PDX, so it's however long. It's 1,000 on top of however long it takes you to get to PDX.
Okay, so probably like 1,200, maybe 1,160. That's not too bad, actually. I might actually do that if I can get the. I got to get the oil leak fixed though, because I don't want to be stopping every 600-800 miles to put a quart of oil in it. But yeah, no, I would absolutely love to. I would
appreciate you not dripping oil on the track.
Yes. Me. And the thing is I can tell you right now, just from driving in Jay's car and driving my own car, I've got the straight line speed. I do. My car, even though you technically have more horsepower, the torque in my car is like ridiculous. But in the corners, I couldn't touch Nizzy at all.
Dude,
that car grips like nothing I've ever been in.
Yeah, but Nick saw that that at least the newer Subis were okay. There was one who specifically tried to follow my line, and we ended up watching him spin out in the mirror and do a really nice dust cloud, like dirt cloud. Yep. But yeah, no, he was putting down some pretty fast times and putting down some faster times than me overall. But when he tried following my line, he sure as hell couldn't hold it.
Was he on slicks?
No, he's on DOTs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the only way I.
And he did it by oversteering, by the way.
He oversteered in a Subaru. He must have like some crazy suspension on that thing. It wasn't stock.
He had TE37s, but I don't know like what else suspension-wise. I didn't ask him. He staged in front of me because they staged us by time, and he was one car ahead of me, so he was slightly faster overall.
Because I've heard the STIs, one way you can get them to oversteer, because they're horrible understeers right off the showroom floor. They all are. Is the sway bars. You can put a really really flimsy sway bar. I think in the back.
You would want stiff in the back to get oversteer.
Okay, so you put the stiff one in the back, and then you put the soft one in the front, and then you can induce oversteer.
You would still use like full stiff front, but you need to stiffen up the rear to get the rear to rotate more.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just put a stiffer one in the back, so there's a difference. Yeah, and I heard that done it, and then the other way to do it, which is the really getaway, and I did this once with a friend when we were out at Dirtfish just farting around. Is just let air out of the tires. you let a little bit of air out of, I think it's not the back tires, the front tires. You let a little air out of the front tires, and then you overinflate the back tires a little bit, and that also induces
You do
oversteer.
when you went to the ridge, you did air down your tires, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen there's people that forget to do that, and then they start spinning out because they overinflate with heat.
Yeah, you heat them up, and you get the bulge. Yep. No,
Yeah.
the instructor there told me that I had to do that. And then the funny thing is, I didn't have an air pump with me. I thought it was in my trunk, so I had to drive home like on underinflated tires. It wasn't a big deal. It just sucked. But yeah, no, there's no way we're gonna get through all these. I didn't think that like 5,000 people were gonna.
It's already 7:10 anyway.
Yeah, I apologize about that. But just to sum things up, Tech Talk has been amazing. We got a couple more ahead of us. So hopefully, you guys, if you want to see certain topics or you want us to talk about certain things about the past, present, future, whatever, let us know over on the Twitters. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I do have video coverage from last Sunday's track day as well as us prepping the car before that. I think I'm going to lump it all into one video. Unfortunately, while I'm driving, I have to rely on Nick to do all the video, and he does photography too. So there's not a lot of coverage from his perspective at the track, which makes it hard for me to have anything to really edit together. So I'm going to see what I can do, see what I can salvage out of that video, and you guys.
I got to see your slide though. I got to see your slide. You make that thing break traction. I know what it takes to make that thing break traction. So that was wild.
That didn't take that much. So anyone who's gone through like professional driving instruction or whatever on pavement, or any racing school, and this is probably very similar to for dirt as well. There's the string method, the string theory, where not really theory actually. It's a string, whatever. It's a fucking string. Okay, it's attached to the steering wheel and the gas pedal. And what that means is when you're pushing down the gas pedal, you have to be unwinding the steering wheel. When you're letting off the gas, you can wind the steering wheel. If you push down the steering wheel or the gas pedal while the steering wheel is wound, or you're winding the steering wheel, that will induce oversteer. What you saw in that turn was me going, trying to get on, pick up the throttle a little bit sooner on the exit so I could get better exit speed.
Yep.
But what you saw was me pick up the gas while the wheel was still turned all the way over to make that turn. So you saw the back end start to come around. But what you also saw was me just immediately go into a counter steer and take it like a little drift.
Gotcha.
So, which it was not intentional. It's just I realized the moment I touched the gas, the back end was like, whoop. I was like, oh, okay, so we'll just ride this one out. And you heard as the car went by on camera, I was still full throttle. I never lifted. So
yeah,
it
looked like when you went into it, it looked like you overcooked it and you were just like, wee, but you just stepped on the gas and just broke traction in the back.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well, it still looked cool, and your recovery looked good. It didn't look all crazy. Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
I've got 3 angles. I've got 4 angles on that actually. I've got the cam angle that you saw with Nick holding the camera right there at the paddock. I've got the roof cam pointing down at the hood. I've got the mirror camera pointing back at me, like from the rearview mirror pointing at me, and I've got the DJI Osmo suction cup to the rear window pointing forward.
Dude, the Osmo footage is neat.
The way the car moves, but the Osmo doesn't.
Yeah, it looks like a little drone's like following you ultra close. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well let's wrap it up. I'm gonna go shoot my little robot arm back there. I'm gonna go shoot the video on that so you guys can see that hopefully tomorrow morning. And then I gotta start packing for PDX land because the guy I'm taking with me is gonna be Darth Tigger 501, and he likes to wake up at the crack of dawn. So we're gonna get headed down there.
He's a very up and at 'em kind of guy.
He is an up and he's Canadian, and those Canadian guys are just always like go 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 go, and they say A in a boat a lot. You know what I'm talking about, Rob.
Hey, it's a boot. It's a boot.
Yep, and guys, I will be live streaming down at the event, so I'm gonna be traveling kind of light. I'll probably bring a couple of Logitechs with me. I don't think I'm gonna bring my main cam. I haven't really decided yet, but we'll see when I pack up tonight. But yeah, no, I'm planning on live streaming on Twitch. The Twitch thing, people have been following that thing like crazy, and I haven't been doing streams on there, so I'm gonna consider tomorrow and the next day and everything. Those are gonna be the official streams to like really launch that channel, and then I'm gonna start streaming a couple times a week. So head on over to twitch.tv/Barnacles.
All right, with that said, I'm rolling that outro on this extra long stream.
TikTok was so awesome, and we might be sad. It's on hiatus after a couple shows, but it's okay because Jay knows Terry Crews, and we love Terry Crews. So, yeah.